them out of that division, where then they would feel that they've really got a great chance for the Stanley Cup.
How much of Jay Miller's assignment do you suppose is guarding Wayne Gretzky?
I think that's to a degree. I think that's one of the reasons that the Kings picked up Marty McSorley, because they wanted somebody to help out Wayne Gretzky. McSorley did a great job along with Krushelnyski while Gretzky was an Oiler. I'm sure that's a factor. I just think, though, it's really to also help out some of their defensemen who are not very physical. McSorley has been playing defense, but for the most part, they're not a very physical team on defense, where you normally seem to find a lot of your tougher players. So in that regard, I think Miller will help ease the pressure of some guys who may not be the best of fighters, the Laidlaws, the Waters, guys who will try and mix it up because they have to. Now with Jay Miller out there, they can just stick and play their defensive game.
All right, should be a good one tonight. First meeting of the season between the Capitals and the Kings, and both clubs are lined up right now at their respective blue lines for our national anthem. Let's turn things over to public address announcer Marv Brooks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and join Glenn Cunningham in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All set to go here at the Capitol Center. Tonight's referee is Paul Stewart. The linesmen are Gord Brossiker and Mark Vines. Starting in goal this evening for the Los Angeles Kings is Glenn Healy. 20 victories, 12 losses and no ties in 34 appearances. He's allowed 132 goals against for a 4.10 goals against average. No shutouts. He'll be backed up by Mark Fitzpatrick. The Capitals go with Clint Malarchuk. He is 13-13-4 in 31 games played. 103 goals against and a 3.41 average. No shutouts. And Pete Peters will back him up. Paul Stewart is ready to go at center ice. Dave Christian on the right wing for the Capitals with Gustafsson at center and Courtnall over on the left. Sheehy is back on defense with Rod Langway. The Kings have Tonelli on the left wing. And Krushelnyski at center ice, and Los Angeles controls the opening draw. Here's Laidlaw to feed it up the boards to the point. Langway keeps it in, bounces it toward the net. It's kicked to the corner, and now here's Christian working at free. Back to the right point for Sheehy. A slap shot. That's just wide of the net. Now it skims past Gretzky off the boards, and Langway keeps it in. Gustafsson reaching for a loose puck, but can't get it. Tonelli tries to clear the puck and gets it all the way out to center ice. Laidlaw works it free, feeds it ahead now for Tonelli. He's across the line, drop pass off for Laidlaw, cuts in and fires and scores. A quick backhander. Gretzky was parked at the side of the net, but that one didn't need to be touched on the way home. Los Angeles has taken a 1-0 lead just 41 seconds into this game.
You know, we talk about the tremendous offensive power of the LA Kings. They want their defensemen to get involved, and for the most part, it's Duchesne and Crossman. But look at this. This is the quote-unquote defensive-minded defenseman, Tom Laidlaw, who is down in the slot where Wayne Gretzky and company are jammed up. This is what the Kings are so dangerous on. You see how everybody just is drawn in there. Tonelli draws everybody to him. Laidlaw makes the move into the opening. And if you've got your defensive-minded defenseman playing that offensive-minded, you can tell why this is one of the most dangerous teams in the league when they have got the puck.
Tonelli gets the lone assist on the goal by Laidlaw, his third of the year, 41 seconds into the game. Los Angeles leads 1-0, and now Malarchuk is tested once more by Gordy Walker's shot from the top of the slot. Now it's chipped out to the blue line. Mike Miller feeds Steve Leach. Leach hung back to center ice, has to go chasing. Steve Duchesne works it loose and now gets across the line for Walker. Gordy Walker sends into the glove of Malarchuk, and he had Duguay standing right next to him, so he didn't want to let go of that puck. And play is soft. Well, missing from the lineup tonight, the Washington Capitals with a couple of injuries. Kevin Hatcher with the groin pull suffered in the game against the New Jersey Devils. Peter Sundstrom with a back injury that we understand kept him out of tonight's game. He was due to make an appearance. Ivan Korovo scratched from the Washington lineup. Lots of injuries for Los Angeles. Dave Taylor, Jim Fox, Mike Allison, and also Baumgartner out, with Igor Liba also missing from the lineup, and Steve Richmond has been sent to New Haven. Just a recent deletion that took place today. Waters out on defense now with Laidlaw. Kelly Miller tries to clear it out, needs help from Langway, and gets it. Laidlaw dumps it right back in. Grant Ledyard, a former Los Angeles King, starts out. Leads the pass ahead on the right wing side now for Ridley. Turns in the circle and tosses it rink wide for Langway. Langway winds, his shot knocked down. It goes into the corner, and Ridley goes to chase it. Here's Kelly Miller. Takes it off the backboard. Spins to his backhand and can't get a shot underway. He's being held up by Waters, who chases him right to the corner board. Luke Robitaille in there to hold on now with Ridley. Has a pretty good grip on him, and I'll tell you, here's a great holding case right here, but the play continues. Robitaille with another grip on Ridley, and the Kings come out of the zone. Here's Nichols on the right wing side. Now ahead to Gretzky on the right wing. He stops to get around Langway. Has to draw it back to the point. Now Crossman rushes it in. He's into the corner, tries to center. Malarchuk makes the stop with his stick, and it's cleared by Gould all the way out to center ice. Dale DeGray shoots it back inside the Washington zone, and Ledyard leads it ahead now for Gould. Out at center ice, Gretzky takes command and gets across the blue line. Gretzky wearing the captain's C in the absence of Taylor, who is the team captain. Now Ledyard clears it off the glass. At the point, it's kept in. There's a shot deflected into the corner now for Dave Christian of the Capitals. He sends it back to center ice. Doug Crossman, former Flyer, former Blackhawk, now with the Kings, sends it to the blue line, and Christian shoots it all the way down. This will be icing as DeGray is back for the touch with 16:38 to play here in the first period. There's a break in the action with the score. The Kings 1 and the Capitals 0.
The best-selling retail wagon in America today isn't a Ford Taurus. It isn't a Volvo, an Audi, or a Toyota. It isn't a Mazda or a Nissan. It isn't a Chevy, a Dodge, or a Honda. In fact, it isn't any of them. It's a Subaru. That's because a Subaru wagon is built to hold something besides kids and groceries. It's value. Test drive one. Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car.
It took just 41 seconds for the LA Kings to open up a lead in this game. They're on top of the Capitals 1-0 with 16:38 left to go in this first period. Mike Krushelnyski will square off here now against Bengt Gustafsson.
Gustafsson ties up Krushelnyski on the draw, but it comes to the point where it's kept in. Tonelli on the Kings attack to the corner, chasing Larry Murphy. Lead pass out to Courtnall, ahead on the right side. Here comes Christian. Gustafsson heading down the middle. Here's a pass blocked to the corner by Steve Duchesne. Now Tonelli tries to pick it up. Krushelnyski works it free. He starts to center ice. Up to Gretzky, tries to go to Tonelli down the middle, and it's cleared out of the zone. McSorley without a stick plays it ahead with his glove, and he got it back to his goaltender, but Christian gave it a run and almost got to it. Kings still in control. Now taken away by Christian, but he returns it to the LA line. Krushelnyski out at center ice. Behind the back pass misses Gretzky. He chases the puck and clears it in for Tonelli in the corner. Jams up with Scott Stevens. Stevens over to Larry Murphy. Murphy back at his own line. Also performed in Los Angeles before coming to the Capitals. In fact, was Rookie of the Year. with the Los Angeles Kings. Here's Bobby Gould throwing it in behind the net. Courtnall back to chase it. He jams with Laidlaw. Now John Druce in to try and pick it up. Bob Gould pulls up to try and help out. Gives it over to Druce. They've taken away the newest member of the Kings. Steve Casper starts out. Here comes Casper ahead to center. Tries to get across the line. Langway ties him up and has the puck. But he passes behind Gould out to center. Waters drives it right back into the Washington zone. Langway back to retrieve. 1-0 the score. Kings have the lead if you're just joining us on a goal by Tom Laidlaw. Here's Sheehy back out to center. Waters pushes it across the line, and Sheehy's back to get it. Up the right wing boards, too far for Druce, and back to Waters. Now to Miller, picked off by Scott Stevens. Taken away is Jay Miller, out wearing number 49 for Los Angeles. Over now to Bernie Nichols, and he dumps it into the Washington zone. Malarchuk settles it down behind the net and leaves it there for Chris Felix. Felix in his second appearance since being called up by the Capitals in the absence of Kevin Hatcher. Wrigley cuts to the net, tries to center. Net's dumped out of there. A good defensive play by Robitaille, who anticipated the pass. Felix has it at center ice. Robitaille takes it away. Taken back now. The Capitals with Gartner across the blue line. Takes it back to the point. Tries to flip it in front. Bernie Nichols cuts back into the Washington zone. His pass stolen by Scott Stevens, and it's led off the boards into the Los Angeles zone. Here's Doug Crossman. Late arriving crowd still settling into their seats, but it is a sellout here tonight. Leach ahead to Mike Miller. Walks in, fires at the side of the net, and almost found Hunter. Here's a deflection. Leach turns it on goal, and Mike Miller looks for a rebound, but the puck is covered by Glenn Healy. And now some pushing and shoving starts in front of that Los Angeles net.
All Giants offer checkout coupons. Coupons based on what you purchase, so there's a greater chance you'll get a coupon you can really use. Checkout coupons, another way to save at Giant. Well, Mike Miller, normally known as a shooter, a guy who whenever he has a chance will pump that shot on net. Here he passes the shot up because he knows that Dale Hunter will be wide open at the side. Just fails to click there. Hunter coming in behind the play, and Mike Miller and him just unable to combine. He would have had the wide open net for the easy tap in. Looks like it was right there too. Doesn't look like it was a bad pass, just looked like it was mistimed on the receiving end.
The face-off will be in front and to the right of goaltender Glenn Healy. 1-0 score. The Kings goal from Tom Laidlaw, his third of the season. John Tonelli assisting, and it was scored just 41 seconds into the game. Gustafsson ties up Krushelnyski from the draw, and now it's poked away from Christian by Gretzky. Sent right back into the Los Angeles zone, and Duchesne has it behind the net. Here is Steve Duchesne wearing number 28 for Los Angeles. Up the center, gets across the line. Tries to walk in, gives to Krushelnyski, and Langway flattens him. Now a shot blocked by Christian. Langway over to Courtnall. Fires out to center ice for Dave Christian. He gives it up to McSorley. Back to Steve Duchesne. Out at center ice. Tonelli picks it up. The former Islander gets across the line, drops it at the blue line, and here's Courtnall to break away. Courtnall in with Christian, and the pass is blocked. Duchesne hustled back and made a good steal. Leads it ahead now, and Gretzky fires wide of the net. Out comes Steve Leach ahead to Courtnall. He's got Hunter on the left wing. Gets across the blue line. Throws it into Hunter in the corner to Leach. A high shot missing and hitting the glass. Now Scott Stevens a drive. That goes wide. Gretzky comes out on the left wing attack. He leads it ahead, just sending it over the stick of Phil Sykes, who was rushing ahead on the play. Now Leach comes back for the Capitals. Over to Chris Felix. Felix across the line. Sends it in on goal, and Healy kicks that to the corner. Hunter ties up Taken out to Duguay at center ice. Back into the Washington zone, and Dale Hunter. Casper jammed up there by Leach, who slashes at Casper. Mike Miller over to chase it. Gets sidestepped by Tim Waters. Now back of the goal. The puck centered. Hunter knocks it free. In the corner, Stevens throws a hefty check, and now the puck sent to the side of the goal. Jay Miller's out there. He hangs on with Dale Hunter. Out of that jam comes Mike Miller for the Capitals, and he clears it all the way down the ice. Back to the icing call. The puck is touched by Wayne McBean to stop play.
Wayne McBean, second-year player. I think a lot of people think that he should be playing either back in junior or in the minor leagues to get a little more experience, but they've had some injuries on defense. He's got to get in there. He's the first-round pick in the '87 draft. A lot of people thought maybe he was the best defenseman coming up, but picking right before the Kings, Harry Sin and the Bruins jumped in and took Glenn Wesley, who today was named to the NHL All-Star team and by his coach, Terry O'Reilly. So excellent choice by Sinden, but people think that Wayne McBean, given a little time, and develop into a fine rushing defenseman himself.
Ridley in behind the goal now to try and work it free. He sends it ahead for Mike Gartner. Gartner spins it off the boards out to center ice. Jay Miller pokes it across the line, and it's picked up by Ledyard over to Larry Murphy. Murphy gets out of the pack, skates ahead, and fires ahead on the right wing for Mike Gartner. Gartner on his backhand loses control. It's knocked to the corner, and Ridley digs it out over to Murphy. Tries to flip it in front. Jay Miller knocks Murphy down. The Kings have a 2-on-1. Ledyard, the lone man back. There's a pass. Oh, and Miller fires wide. Jay Miller presented with a golden opportunity to score and missed the net. In behind the goal. The puck sent out front for Gartner. Now the Capitals start a rush. Washington with a line change underway as Gartner drives it in on net. The Kings also start a line change. Gretzky's line is coming out. Here's Crossman to the blue line of Washington. Throws it into the corner. Langway back to tie up with Robitaille. The puck taken loose by Gretzky. He's in front right away. Has two Capitals on him, and Courtnall and Christian are able to move it out to Gustafsson. Then Gustafsson to center. Right wing pass for Christian. Christian gets across the line. Goes into the corner. Now tries to center for Gustafsson. All the way back to the point. Langway, a blast. That just missed the mark. The Kings come out. Here's Nichols across the blue line. Drop pass, and McSorley sends it up off the high glass. Now Gretzky behind the net. Into the corner. Jammed up by Langway. Gustafsson works it loose behind the goal. Nichols takes it in the corner for Los Angeles. Bernie Nichols loses the puck. Dave Christian out to Courtnall. And Courtnall sends it ahead to the center ice line. Now into the Los Angeles zone. Courtnall flipping it wide of the Los Angeles goal. Into the corner goes Christian to try and chase it. He ties up in there with Steve Duchesne. The Kings lead 1-0. 9 minutes to play here in the first period. Tonelli a slap shot that hit the side of the net. Now Duchesne keeps it in. Gretzky centers it. A drive from right in front. Malarchuk makes the save. Another shot. And that one just missing. And here's Duchesne to set it up again. Over to Gretzky. Sheehy doing a good job in front of that net to clear them out. Here's Duchesne firing. Save made by Malarchuk. And Sheehy had a battle going with Tonelli this time. Gretzky chased to the corner by Sheehy. Now Duchesne has it stolen. And Sheehy clears it all the way down. Pretty good shift there by Neil Sheehy in front of the Washington net. I would imagine a lot of confidence coming his way after scoring a goal the other day. Let's check in downstairs right now with Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. Some great action here on this side of the ice. The Washington Capitals being able to stay within one goal here, the Los Angeles Kings. But let's get you caught up to date on what we have ahead for you here on Home Team Sports. And tomorrow night we have college basketball, JMU at Richmond. And tip-off will be 7:30 here on HTS. The Bullets are in action next Tuesday night against the Boston Celtics. And then our next Capitals telecast against the Hartford Whalers, Friday night, February the 3rd. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, a 2-on-1 developing, and I think you said it best. Jay Miller is not going to do a lot of goal scoring for you.
Well, the Kings played a couple of jokes on him to welcome him to the team the other day in terms of their fooling around end, but on the ice, Luke Robitaille tried to give him a perfect welcoming gift and show you, hey, it's going to be a lot easier to get points here with this team, but you got to start putting them in when you got the open net staring you like that.
We have a delayed penalty call coming up against Los Angeles. Out of the nets comes Clint Malarchuk. The extra attacker is on. It's Mike Ridley, and now it's touched in the corner by Healy. And we've got a high sticking penalty call coming from referee Paul Stewart against Los Angeles. The Caps power play when we come back. Right now, Los Angeles leads 1-0.
An 89 Geo Metro is just $52.99. An 89 S10 pickup is just $59.99. An 89 Cavalier is just $61.99. Where? At All-Star Chevrolet. Convenient from everywhere. All-Star Chevrolet in Elkridge beats buying services, fleet prices, and credit unions. Fact is, if you can buy it cheaper anywhere else, buy it.
Well, the Capitals will have the first power play of the game. Ron Duguay in the box at 11:54. High sticking the call.
Washington's power play tied for 5th in the NHL at 23%. And the Kings, while shorthanded, 9th in the league at 81%. Scott Stevens handles the puck at the blue line. Throws it into the corner now for Mike Ridley. Back to Larry Murphy. Over to Scott Stevens. Now to Mike Garton. Winds his slap shot. Blocked. It's knocked down in front. Another drive goes wide from Garton. And this time it's cleared by Gretzky, who sends it all the way down the ice. A minute and a half left on the Ron Duguay penalty. Here comes Ridley to center. Throws it on in. Tim Waters back to get it behind the net. Sends it up the boards and all the way down the ice. Malarchuk handles behind the goal and leaves it for Scott Stevens. Stevens passes out. Murphy ends up taking it back of the goal, and he and Ridley crisscross. And Murphy brings to center. Gives to Murphy. Or Murphy giving to Ridley. Getting across the line now for Mike Miller. He fakes the shot. Holds on to the puck to set up now in the power play attack. Murphy one-times it right on goal. Healy makes the save. Back to the left point. Here's Scott Stevens. Over now. Gartner crossing it right in front for Mike Miller. Miller had a bouncing puck and had to chase it into the corner. Miller fires a shot up off the top corner outside of the net. Here's Gartner cutting across. Has it knocked away. And Murphy has to chase it back to center ice. Not much time left in the power play. Here goes Gartner to the corner after. Healy sends it up the board. Gartner gets it back behind the goal. 12 seconds left in the power play. Gartner's wrist shot goes wide. Now Courtnall trying to center. Into Murphy in the corner. Back to Courtnall. Penalty's over. The Kings are back at full strength. Courtnall trying to center, and Robitaille takes it away. He hits Duguay with a pass at center ice. Ron Duguay drops it off. Krushelnyski cutting into the corner. Jammed up by Courtnall. And Stevens turns to start out. Both teams at full strength. Dave Christian in across the blue line. The Kings come back, and Steve Duchesne gives it to Duguay. Now Langway picks it up in his own end. Over to Grant Ledyard. Taps it off the boards all the way out to center. And back inside the Los Angeles zone. Doug Crossman back to retrieve. Tie up behind the net. Casper tries to work it loose. Lou Franceschetti in there with Casper. And Franceschetti takes a spill. Now the puck taken out by Gould to the point. Grant Ledyard back to Bobby Gould. Gould misfires on a pass. Takes it behind the net. Bumped off the puck in the corner. Now Casper in after it. Franceschetti takes over. Lou Franceschetti back to the point. Rod Langway a drive, and Healy makes the save. Now John Druce with the puck. Over to Bobby Gould. Puts it back of the net. Franceschetti throws a hit on Crossman. Druce ties up. As it's cleared out to center, here's Langway. Over now to Bengt Gustafsson. Gustafsson gets across the line. His high wrist shot off the glass. Now bounces it toward the net. And Healy had to pounce on that. Looked like a rubber ball in front of the goal, but Healy makes the save with 4:19 to go in the first period.
Well, as you know, in Home Team Sports lately, we've been giving away free weekend packages to the Omni Inner Harbor Baltimore Orioles Winter Carnival. It had been our 5th caller. Tonight, we're going to do a little something different. Tonight, the caller who can correctly identify the number of Jeff Rimmer rumors that have come true. You have to give us the number of Jeff Rimmer's rumors that have come true. Wins the weekend package to the Baltimore Inner Harbor Hotel and the Orioles Winter Carnival. It's a one-night deluxe accommodation, tickets to the Winter Carnival, and a nighttime tuck-in by the Oriole Birds.
Not by Jeff Rimmer?
No, not by Jeff Rimmer. But he may give you a tailor-made rumor. So tell us the number of Rimmer rumors that have come true, and you'll win the free weekend for the Orioles.
The number of Rimmer rumors, what, this week or this this month, this season? What amount of time?
This season.
This season. Okay.
Yeah. That is the phone number. Give us a call if you have the number of Jeff Rimmer rumors that have come true, and you'll win the weekend package at the Omni Inner Harbor for the Baltimore Orioles Winter Carnival. 350-7852, area code 301.
Here's Kelly Miller walking in, fires, and Healy scrambles to make a save. Understand the phone banks are already alive with calls. So if you can't get through, keep trying. We're looking for the correct answer.
Capitals right now with an 11-5 advantage in shots. That was the LA Kings that came out roaring. But the Capitals have certainly mounted their attack back. High scoring as the LA Kings are, they certainly give up goals. 201 goals against this year. One of only 3 teams in the NHL that have given up more than 200 goals on the season. So you will get your chances to score against the LA Kings. You have to be patient and disciplined in the defensive end. Can't allow them to roam free. But once you get the puck into their defensive zone, if you start working hard, particularly because they don't have a lot of real physical defensemen out there, if you start jamming the front of that net, you should be able to get your chances. They will give you room to maneuver because, as we said also, their defensemen love to gamble and get caught up ice quite a bit.
Kelly Miller behind the goal, chases the puck to the corner. Dave Christian in there trying to work it loose. He's hit against the backboards now by Laidlaw. Gustafsson bumping Tonelli. Christian and Krushelnyski work for it. Now it comes back to Laidlaw. He sends it off the boards to the point. Larry Murphy winds. His shot is blocked. And it's cleared out to center ice for Gretzky. Now ahead to John Tonelli. Tonelli across the line. Flips it in front for Crossman. On his backhand. Fires, and Malarchuk makes the save. Rebound sent off the side of the net. Scott Stevens takes over and passes it out to center ice. Tonelli on the right wing to Gretzky. Cutting in front. Krushelnyski on the doorstep. Gets the shot off, but Malarchuk makes the save, and Gustafsson was the man who took him out.
Brilliant save by Clint Malarchuk, sliding over, stacking the pads, kicking him up, and robbing Mike Krushelnyski. Set up by his former partner in Edmonton, Wayne Gretzky. Look at this. Directed on and quickly over there to block it with the skates and the pads. Clint Malarchuk. Mike Krushelnyski, if you remember, played 1 year full-time the left wing with Wayne Gretzky. That was back in 84-85, and that year Krushelnyski came up with a season, had 43 goals and 45 assists. Had not played regularly the rest of the time in Edmonton with Gretzky, and only had 20 goals tops the rest of his stay in Edmonton in one season.
Here's a stolen puck, and chasing it is Nichols. He sends it right in front. It's blocked, and now Malarchuk hangs on at the side of the goal. Some pushing and shoving as Miller and Sheehy go nose to nose. Langway's in there too. In fact, it was between those two first. Langway and Miller, and then Sheehy stepped right in on behalf of the Washington captain as newcomer Jay Miller finds his niche immediately with the Kings, and he found out it wasn't as a goal scorer early. There's a break in the action with a score. The Kings won, and the Capitals nothing.
At TWA, we've been noticing a new breed of frequent flyer, a most demanding customer with special needs, with unique dietary concerns, who expects close personal attention. That's why we started the child care program, so that a child flying alone can be escorted airport to airport, grown up to grown up, because we know how important his next meeting is. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
Robbie Fedora, Kings coach, looking on. We have a winner, by the way, for that Winter Carnival. Doug Sane of Falls Church, Virginia. And, of course, the correct answer, absolutely none. Right, Jeff? Jeff Rimmer does it. I tell you, give him a lot of grief, a lot of kidding, but what a great job he does for us at Home Team Sports. Lines up the guests, all the rumors and information, and a number of these have come through.
Here's a shot by Courtnall wide through the goal mouth. We have a delayed penalty call coming. Courtnall a drive and a save by Healy. And it's covered up and play is called. Now Gartner gets a little shove at the side of the net from McSorley. And the linesmen get in there very quickly.
Now former teammates Jay Miller and Jeff Courtnall with a little bumping.
Well, you know that you're right. That's the best thing about Jeff Rimmer. He's pretty good at giving it out. He gives Warren Strelo a tough time on the pregame show, but Jeff can take a little joke too, so we had a little fun at his expense tonight.
Well, here we go. Thanks to Jeff Rimmer tonight. Get Kings owner Bruce McNowell as one of our guests. He was in the pregame show, and because he is turning down everybody else, but because he's got a long-time friendship with Jeff Rimmer, we've got Wayne Gretzky coming in. Down there will be Jeff Rimmer's guest during the second intermission. Wayne Gretzky has told people he will not do any during the game interviews anymore. He says it's been too much of a hassle, but because of his friendship with Jeff Rimmer, he's going to be with us here on Home Team Sports. Capitals power play with 3 shots on goal the last time. A little better than a minute in the offensive zone. Have a couple minutes now to work with Jay Miller in the box.
Time of the call, 17-18 of the first period. Jay Miller in there doing some roughing, which is his trademark.
I think this is going to be kind of an interesting situation for Miller. He wants to make an immediate impact. Wants to make sure everybody knows he's there. He's there for his toughness. But you don't want to take a lot of dumb penalties. You don't want to be so exuberant about your job that you can constantly putting your team short-handed. He's going to have to be very, very careful to pick his spots at the right moment.
Washington's power play out there once again. Here's Mike Ridley in the corner. Throws it rink wide, and Gartner fans on a shot. It's brought back to the point. Scott Stevens keeps it in. He gives to Gartner. Felix keeps it inside the zone. Now on the left point, Stevens cuts in. Can't get it centered. Mike Miller has it taken away. And now Wayne Gretzky tips it out of the zone to center ice. Down the left wing comes Bernie Nichols. Bumped right off the puck by Chris Felix. Good defensive play. Back comes Mike Ridley for Washington. On the left wing side. Fires a slap shot. And a save is made by Healy. Christian into the corner. Now over to Miller. Mike Miller for the Capitals. To Larry Murphy. Back to Mike Miller. Rink wide. Christian in front. Ridley a shot. And a goal. Mike Ridley ties the game at 1-1.
All-star team, and you see why. 27th goal of the year. Excellent passing play, though. Mike Ridley is going to station himself in front. Everybody's expecting the one-timer from Christian as they all go collapsing over towards him. Nobody comes back and takes Ridley. Ridley had been parked there and didn't make a move. Nobody bumped him out. Nobody got away from him. You draw him up a little higher because they have to respect the Capital point men. And Mike Ridley set up perfectly by David Christian, who in turn received a nice pass from Mike Miller. And the Caps have tied this game up at 1.
Mike Ridley gets his 27th of the season.
18-28, the time of the goal from Mike Miller and Dave Christian. And for Mike Ridley on the season, that is his 27th goal of the year. Glenn Healy with a breather. He's faced the Capitals once before, and in that lone game gave up 8 goals. Suffered a loss. Bobby Kotorek, always clad in a sweater. Doesn't wear a sport coat on the bench.
Even wears sneakers back there and changes into regular street shoes, leather shoes, once the media comes in. He wears sneakers behind the bench as well. He doesn't want the media to start making comments about his sneakers like they make comments about the sweater he says.
He likes the casual mode of dress, like you.
I don't blame him. Stuff enough back there. Might as well enjoy it and be comfortable.
Here comes Hunter on the right wing. Casper back into his own zone. Ledyard returns it off the stick of Leach, and it bounces out to neutral ice. Laidlaw takes over back inside the Los Angeles zone. Back to Ledyard again. Off the right wing boards, here comes Bobby Gould to center ice. Game tied at 1, time running out in the period. Here's Kelly Miller into the corner. Takes it behind the net. Pulled off, the puck still has it. Now brings it back to Gould. Bounces it over to Larry Murphy. Only seconds left. It bounces in front. And Kelly Miller with a scoring chance, but it's shot wide as time runs out in the first period of play. Shots on goal in the first period. For Washington, 13. For Los Angeles, 7. Laidlaw for the Kings. Ridley on the power play for the Capitals. And we're tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play. Our live exclusive coverage will continue in just a moment, right after we pause for these messages on the Home Team Sports Television Network.
Stop wasting time and money. Get competitive. Get computerized. Call the knowledgeable professionals at MCS to find customized computer systems for business and personal use. MCS offers comprehensive service, a 15-month warranty, the best in software, and best of all, great prices. MCS has new laser printers in stock. Avoid the high cost of typesetting and produce fantastic quality brochures and documents. Call our Oxon Hill or Camp Springs location today. With MCS, controlling the information overload is just a keyboard away.
Imagine one cable channel with something for everyone. It would have programs for kids.
Come on, Jerry, get up. Is it time for Mickey?
For families.
What's on TV? A special on the Disney Channel. I want to watch.
And some things just for you.
Your favorite movie's on.
Great. I'll make the popcorn. There is one channel that offers so much entertainment. It's like getting 3 channels in one.
Pirelli radials are original equipment on the world's finest cars, and you can get Pirellis at Merchants Tire and Auto Centers. Merchants will start mounting your Pirellis in 29 minutes or less. No long waits and no extra charge for custom wheels. So imagine the traction you'll get with Pirelli P77s, and imagine how fast you'll get them. Thank you. At Merchants Tire and Auto Center.
Service that you trust, guaranteed.
Merchants Tire and Auto Center.
In the Tidewater area, you know the Henry Johnson Tire and Auto Centers.
And in Durham, you know the Rigsby Tire and Auto Centers.
Well, they're all part of the Merchants Group,
where you can get service that you trust, guaranteed.
Monty Coleman, Washington Redskins. First down.
This is a first down jacket to really fit me.
George & Company Big and Tall Men's Shops. First in style and selection.
Another exciting hockey game here at the Washington Capitol Center. Another sellout crowd and an exciting first period. The Los Angeles Kings scoring early, Laidlaw, but then Ridley coming back, and we're tied 1-1 after one period of play. Welcome back, Jeff Rimmer with you. And as always, in our first intermission, Vice President and General Manager David Poyle joins us. And David, the fans, I guess anticipating the excitement here with Wayne Gretzky making his first of 2 regular season appearances at the Capitol Center against your hockey club. And, of course, the fans here and those watching on Home Team Sports certainly not disappointed.
Well, that's for sure. You could tell right off the bat this morning at the pregame skate, it seemed like when LA came out on the ice and you saw Gretzky, there was a certain feeling, a little bit of electricity, if you will. And I noticed, you know, by and large, our players, after they skate and have a meeting, they take off home. But a lot of our players stayed around just to watch LA practice. And there's no doubt that he is something special. And, you know, it just again, the first time we played them this year, I sort of look at it myself, and I sort of look at the players on the bench, and everybody seems to be looking at him all the time, which is probably the worst thing that you can do. But like I said, he's something special, and he's done a great amount for the game in the past years with Edmonton, and obviously what he's already accomplished this year with the Kings.
Did some research today, and I found that it was Game 77, the last time the Los Angeles Kings, or last season, were able to win their 28th game. They've got 27 wins now. Obviously, he's brought that hockey club up a few notches, and now they go out and make some moves to even further strengthen the club. They're now thinking Stanley Cup.
Well, I'm the one who's always saying that hockey's the greatest team sport and that one guy can't do it. But I think in Wayne Gretzky's case that I'll have to put an asterisk by that statement, because he has certainly made the difference, not only in his own individual talents and what he contributes on the ice, but he seems to just to rub off, if you will, on everyone else, and their play seems to come up to the highest levels ever. Players like John Tonelli, who I guess Calgary thought might be near the end of his career, is having a super year goal-scoring wise. Bernie Nichols is having a career year, and I guess we could go on down the list as far as the LA Kings are concerned.
Have you noticed, and maybe put yourself away from the Washington Capitals for a moment, and strictly from a hockey perspective, a business perspective, has Gretzky's impact really been felt yet in the United States, getting him out of Canada and getting him into a big media center like Los Angeles?
Well, I think it has. I mean, again, we can point to a lot of different examples. I watched the Super Bowl the other night, and Wayne Gretzky is seen on a national commercial. It's probably one of the first times a hockey player has ever been seen on that. Number two, here we are Tuesday night. I mean, we feel we're making progress in our franchise as far as our crowds are concerned, but I mean, we don't sell out all the time on Tuesday nights, and here we have Wayne Gretzky and the Los Angeles Kings, and we have a sellout at the Capitol Center, and I think that, that says it all right there.
All right, Paul, our first caller for the Caps general manager, and welcome.
How you doing? My name is Mike, and what I'd like to know is how do you do the penalty plus and minus for each player? And secondly, if I could tell you that since you've been with the Caps, you've done nothing but good things since '82, so thanks.
Thank you very much. The plus-minus stat just means when you're on the ice for goals versus when you're on the ice against when goals are scored. It has nothing to, for example, if there's a power play goal scored, that does not count as a plus or a minus. It's only even strength goals.
Mike from Mount Vernon, you're on with the Caps GM. Welcome.
Yes, do you think the Caps pick up the intensity every time that Gretzky comes to town?
Well, I guess the players might not readily admit that, but like I said this morning, there was something special in the building with the Kings and Gretzky around, and there's no question that when you play against the better teams, better players, it seems to bring out the best of the Capitals. I was talking to Glenn Sather, the general manager of the Oilers, the other day, and the Capitals have a tremendous record in the last 5 or 6 years, in the years that the Oilers have won the Stanley Cup. But we seem to have always played well against some of the better teams in the league, and hopefully we'll continue that against the much improved Los Angeles Kings.
Mike from Wheaton, your question or comment?
Yeah, I've been to quite a few of the Skipjacks games lately, and I've even seen David Poyle there. I was just wondering which prospects he expects to see up with the Caps in the near future.
Well, we feel we have a lot of good young players there, and what we try to tell them is what I'm going to say to you, is that we're just not looking for them to immediate progress game by game or week by week, but we're looking at the next year or so. We have a lot of young players that are basically the same age down in Baltimore, and we got young forwards, for example, like John Druce and Stephen Leafs that are playing for us tonight, and defenseman Chris Felix. So I think our relationship and our farm system development-wise with Baltimore is already paying off for the Capitals, and I think before the year is over, we'll see some other Skipjacks and Capitals uniforms.
David, you had a quote that you made very soon after the marriage between the two organizations, and it's one that stands out every time we see you in the Baltimore Arena, and that is that now you and the Washington Capitals not have 40 home games, but even the fans can look at the Baltimore-Washington proximity and say, hey, we've got 80 home games for these two teams.
Well, we've had it's been a great presence for our organization, not only the opportunity for myself and our scouts, but also our coaches and some of our players go over to watch the games. And conversely, tonight I would say we probably have just about every skipjack here at the Capitol Center, hopefully to watch some of the Capitals, but I'm sure also to watch Wayne Gretzky. So, you can't speak much more of a relationship and how close the NHL and the AHL really are in the Capitals organization.
All right, let's go, Jim. You're up next. Question or comment? Hello, Jim.
Jim from Mount Vernon. Question for David. Was the Washington Capitals organization ever informed that before Wayne Gretzky was actually traded, were the Washington Capitals ever informed that he might be available?
No, we weren't. I must admit that I had heard the rumors preceding Wayne's trade, and I thought they were fabrications of Hollywood. And you know, I think that it was a special deal that obviously could only be made in a couple of cities for two reasons. Obviously, the quality and the youth of the players involved, and obviously the money involved in the deal. I think it pretty well, they found the right place to do it, and Los Angeles was that place.
Of course, Bruce McNally telling us on the pregame show he didn't realize it would have the impact that it has, but then again, there's only one Wayne Gretzky. Caps General Manager David Poile, we thank him for the visit. He'll be back on our next Home Team Sports telecast. Stay tuned as we have second period action just ahead on HTS. LA and the Caps are tied 1-1.
Introducing Kodacolor Gold 100.
I see your true colors shining through.
Kodacolor Gold 100 gives you the truest colors of any print film.
Don't be afraid to let them show.
A new Kodacolor Gold.
Your true colors.
Stop by any People's Drugstore and stock up with Kodacolor Gold film.
The 89 Toyotas are here. Check them out.
Yes, boss.
Oh, may I help you?
Just looking.
Your Toyota dealer has lots of 89s, and he's starting the model year with remarkable savings.
This is hot.
So are the deals. Right now, you can save up to $1,050 on option packages.
Got immediate delivery?
Yep.
Get the goods?
Yep.
See your Toyota dealer today for a remarkable deal on a remarkable Toyota.
An important message for you, Miniki. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler, you fool.
See, good news. I predict I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Don't worry. At Meineke, you get quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed.
This is what I've been saying, you idiot. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. Bit better.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
You know, thrifty car rental is thrifty price for everyone.
Well, Henry, this is a good deal. Sign it.
It's enough or you can't refuse.
Sign it.
Why don't you get a lodger car to entertain friends?
Now I'll sign it.
Rent a Dodge Dynasty from just $24.99 a day on weekends at any of the 24 thrifty metro area locations.
Go ahead. Make my reservation. It's simple. Call 1-800-for-cars.
Capitals game coverage on Home Team Sports is brought to you by Hardee's. We're out to win you over. Tie hockey game after one period of play. The Capitals and the Kings. The Kings struck first and the Capitals came back on a power play goal. Mike Forens with Al Koken welcoming you back once again to our Home Team Sports telecast. Wayne Gretzky certainly made himself available around that net a few times, and the Kings had some wonderful scoring opportunities that they didn't take advantage of.
Well, you know, the open net that Miller missed, a couple other chances. Clint Malarchuk made some great saves after he let in the first Kings shot, the little flip shot by Tom Laidlaw. After that, everybody tightened up for the Capitals. I think that was kind of the awakening maybe they needed. Maybe they were relaxed just a little too much, and they were tight after that and got the big power play goal late in the period to even the game up.
Let's take a look at our TWA shot chart for the first period of play. These are the Washington Capitals shot locations, and the shot that is in the square is Mike Ridley's goal.
Well, Mike Ridley is the beneficiary of some excellent passing on the power play. As we'll show this to you on the telestrator. Watch the way that the Capitals working around. Now, Mike Miller's got the puck here. Mike Ridley is pretty much all alone in front of the net. You notice how Bernie Nichols had been up here with Larry Murphy. So you really are kind of out of this box position. Mike Miller does the smart thing, takes the puck and goes cross-ice. And watch how late Laidlaw is to get back on Mike Ridley. With the Capitals being able to draw the Kings out of that box, now Ridley's been able to get down there himself. Laidlaw's got to respect Mike Miller walking in because Bernie Nichols is not down in there to help him out. And before he can get back there for Mike Ridley, David Christian's put the perfect pass through to him on the slot. Ridley picks up his 27th of the year. On the power play, it comes with the assist from Christian and Mike Miller. 18-28, so it's a late goal to really give the Capital Spirits a little extra boost.
The Kings sure didn't waste much time in getting started in the scoring column. They hit only 41 seconds into the game. Let's take a look at their shot chart brought to you by TWA, and you can see the locations of those Los Angeles shots. And their goal, as we mentioned, came very, very early on.
Well, it comes off Tom Laidlaw, and we talk about how everybody seems to want to get involved. When you've got Gretzky on the ice, you're going to get he's going to draw plenty of activity. And what really works out for the Kings is you get a guy who is not known for his offense. This man, Tom Laidlaw, watch the way he just trails the play. Now, he'll make the smart move to dish it off to Wayne Gretzky. We'll start the play and then stop it again. Watch how he makes sure he gets the puck to Gretzky, but keep an eye on Laidlaw. Watch how he's able just to kind of hang back for just a moment, but never really keep himself completely out of the play. Now, stop it here. Langway has committed over to Gretzky. Neil Sheehy has got the attention. Jeff Courtnall has got to be the guy to come back and take Laidlaw and cover up. But Courtnall's late in getting back, and instead of just staying at the blue line that you would expect a defensive-oriented defenseman to do, watch the way Laidlaw drifts down to the play, and with Gretzky coming down and getting all this attention, right back here is where Tom Laidlaw gets the puck and is able to flip that shot in. Courtnall's a little late on getting back, and Laidlaw makes a nice play. Just comes right in. Everybody attracted to Gretzky. You got all those good scores and the top players out there. They are going to attract the attention, and that's one of the things that makes Gretzky so great. Not afraid to give up the puck, almost sometimes prefers to give it up. Tom Laidlaw, the beneficiary with his third of the game, third of the year. Tonelli's the guy who really sets him up, but when you get Gretzky out on the ice, everybody paying that attention to him. Tonelli coming down, he's the one who dishes it off, but Gretzky out on the ice, all that watching going on. Tonelli is a dangerous goal scorer this year again with 25. There's where you start to see how even defensive defensemen can really get into the fun with the LA Kings.
Okay, with all this talk about the Orioles and the Dream Week coming up and the big weekend coming up and teasing of Jeff Rimmer, let's go downstairs right now. Jeff's going to make it seem like baseball season once again. Hi, Jeff.
Well, Mike, yes, it will be baseball season before long. And, of course, for Home Team Sports viewers, Mel Proctor, also the voice of the Washington Bullets. And he's got a young guy here with him, his son, Billy. And I guess you guys are here to see number 99.
Actually, I thought the Bullets were playing tonight. I thought I was supposed to work. I thought they were playing the Pacers, and I was surprised. I came here and pulled in the parking lot, and there were 18,000 cars. But, you know, now that I'm here, I figured he'd watch a hockey game. No, actually, Billy has become a big hockey fan from watching the HDS telecast and kept saying, take me to a hockey game, take me to a hockey game. So he said, let's go see the great Gretzky. So it sounded like a good plan to me, and Lou Corletto, the Caps PR director, was nice enough to get us a couple of tickets. We're having a good time.
Billy, what do you think? You like hockey better than baseball and basketball?
I don't know.
Tell us the truth. We know you're a hockey fan.
I think I do. I don't know.
Who are you watching tonight? You watching the Washington Capitals or Wayne Gretzky?
Watching the Orioles.
Watching the Orioles. Well, I don't think so. Well, pretty close. I'll tell you what, you stick around and I'll prove to you Wayne Gretzky's a hockey player after the game. Mel, let's talk about the Orioles. We understand here, late breaking news, the Orioles have made a trade. We talked about it on the pregame show, and Bob Melvin comes over from the Giants for Terry Kennedy.
It's the first I've heard of it. It's news to me. If the deal was made, I'm sure Terry Kennedy's lucrative salary is a consideration. He's making somewhere close to $1 million this year. That and the fact that he had a bad season last year. His father, Bob, is also an executive with the Giants, so that might have figured into the deal, but it's news to me.
Well, it's not news to me. In fact, I'm already ahead of what my partners upstairs had accused me of being zero for whatever, but that story is, in fact, now a reality because the Orioles have announced within the last half hour that they have traded Terry Kennedy back to the National League and to the San Francisco Giants for Bob Melvin. What about the Bullets? We're going to see some improved play for them down the stretch?
Well, I think the Bullets are in a period where they're going to take about 3 or 4 years to rebuild before they become a competitive team again. They had a tendency year in and year out to make the first round of the playoffs and then lose, and I think they felt the only way to rebuild the franchise was to go with the draft with young players, and they're attempting to do that, and it's going to be a process involving several years.
All right, back upstairs now to Mike Fornes and Al Coca.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much. Paul Stewart's ready to go out at center ice, and we're ready to start the play here in the second period. Ben Gustafson leans in, and he and Krushelnyski tie up. And Larry Murphy throws it back inside the Los Angeles zone. It strikes linesman Mark Vines, and now is cleared back to Murphy at the blue line. Over to Kelly Miller. Miller into the corner. Brings it back to Dave Christian. Over again to Miller. Kelly Miller sends it toward the net, but Healy blocks that to the corner. Now Scott Stevens trying to center, and it's taken out of there by Tim Waters. Right inside the Washington zone. Dave Christian gets a stick on it and clears it back over to Kelly Miller, and he puts it out to center ice. Here's Laidlaw back into his own zone. Capitals changing on the fly. Here's Gustafson. Tonelli gets across the line, and offside is called. We'll have a face-off out of neutral ice.
Well, John Tonelli's career has been reborn in Los Angeles. Rogie Vachon calling him over the summer, saying he definitely had some interest in him, and Tonelli says that's really all it took. Somebody to show the faith in him, that knew that he could do the job once again. He's done a nice job against the Washington Capitals over his career, but has been on a real hot streak. 21 goals, 12 assists in the last 31 contests for John Tonelli, and playing like he was playing of old in his days with the New York Islanders, busting it off the wing, hitting some big goals for the Kings. He just seems to be thrilled to be part of the LA team.
Here's Hunter in the corner now for the Capitals. Starts out with a pass up the boards to center ice. Steve Duchesne knocks it down and throws it back to the Capitals blue line. Langway's pass ahead for Steve Leach. Jams up in the corner. Dale Hunter comes alongside to try and move it out. He's got McSorley right on him. Now Leach spilled right in front of the net. The Kings on the comeback. Here's Sheehy to the corner. Takes it in behind the goal. Over to Rod Langway. His lead pass goes out on the left wing to Mike Miller. Now out to center ice. Ron Duguay takes over there for Los Angeles. Throws it back into the Washington zone. Nichols directs a shot right on net. The save to Malarchuk. Jay Miller has lost a glove. Dale Hunter hammers at him and knocks him into the Washington goal. Here comes Mike Miller out for Washington. Leads it ahead now for Mike Gartner. Hunter and Jay Miller continue to push and shove behind the play. Here's Gartner across the blue line. Turns into the corner. Gartner tries to barrel his way in front, and his pass to Ridley gets away, and the Kings come back with a 3-on-2 break. Here's a pass on the left side for Robitaille. Gives it to Nichols. Throws it across the ice now for Jay Miller. Courtnall jams up. Brings it over to Mike Ridley. Ridley on the left wing side to Courtnall. Gets across the blue line. Leads it over to Scott Stevens. Now Dale DeGray has the puck back in his own end. Over to Robitaille. Now DeGray. Lead pass. Gretzky has it across the blue line. Scott Stevens chasing him and takes over. Here's Stevens ahead to Ridley. There's Christian across the line to Ridley on the right wing. Back to Christian in the corner. He tries to center in front, but it's cleared out of the zone. And all the way back inside the Washington end. Larry Murphy back to get it. Clears it out of the zone to center ice. Laidlaw tips it ahead for Gretzky. Passes now for Tonelli. That puts it right in front. Oh, and Krushelnyski misses as he fires wide of Malarchuk. The puck caroms out to center ice, and Laidlaw is there to get it. He gives to Tonelli. Tonelli passing over into the corner now for Krushelnyski. Tie up in the corner. And finally, Grant Ledyard spins it off the boards out to center ice. The Kings toss it right back in. And Larry Murphy is back to get it. He passes to Dave Christian. Up the boards to Bengt Gustafson. Now sent all the way down the ice, and Healy moves it up the boards. Gustafson keeps it in. Over to Christian. Healy again gives the puck a shove into the corner. Kelly Miller tries to walk in front. Ends up putting a shot to the side of the net. And Glenn Healy covers there and stops play. There's a break in the action with the score. The Capitals won and the Kings won.
I get paid to fly on TWA. I'm part of the new quality control team. I report directly to the chairman on what's good and what needs improving. When he's happy, you're happy.
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are. After all those meetings in Minneapolis and conventions in Kansas City, we think you could use a little change of pace. And after 40,000 miles in TWA's frequent flyer program, that's just what you get. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
The game still tied up at 1 with 15:28 left to go in the second period. Caps have limited the LA Kings to just 9 shots on goal, although the Kings have missed a couple of golden opportunities. Jay Miller in the first period missing an open net. It looked like moments ago Mike Krushelnyski had an opening off a John Tonelli pass and put it wide.
Neil Sheehy to chase the puck all the way back into his own zone. Ties up his check, Steve Casper. And now Bob Gould has it behind the net. Leaves it there for Langway. Langway, a long lead pass up the middle, missing John Druce, and Waters takes over. Here's Duchesne across the line into the corner. Duguay throws it all the way out of his zone. Francis-Getty chasing after it. But Duchesne flips it into the Washington players' bench out of play. Brian Murray has had a lot of success, as we mentioned, against not only the Los Angeles Kings, as you see here, but also against the Edmonton Oilers when Wayne Gretzky played for them. I never felt that he was really guilty of trying to create too much concentration on Gretzky alone. He always seemed to be very aware of the other players in the team, and I felt that was one reason why the Caps did so well.
Indeed, and he also reminded his team that you will get your chances. If you play both ends of the ice, they will give you the scoring opportunities. You don't have to force it. You're going to get it anyway because of their gambling style. If you stay disciplined, if you stay in your position, it's just inevitable that you're going to get those scoring opportunities because of all the gambling done by those high-flyer teams.
Here's Jay Miller down the left wing trying to cut around Chris Felix. Felix ties him up. Into the corner goes Courtnall after it. He sends it ahead on the right wing for Mike Gartner. Gartner across the line. High wrist shot off the glass. Now Ridley in to take it. Centering pass by Courtnall, blocked to the corner. And Jay Miller again flips it back out to center ice. Here's Gartner. Ridley takes it out of the zone, over now to Chris Felix. Once again, it's tossed into the Washington bench. 2 souvenirs around that bench so far tonight. The lines change now for both teams. Capitals sending Dave Christian out along with Bengt Gustafsson and Kelly Miller. Rod Langway back on defense with Grant Ledyard. Wayne Gretzky is on for the Kings with Krushelnyski and Tonelli. It's McSorley out there with Steve Duchesne.
Gretzky will move around quite a bit. And you notice here, Wayne Gretzky, the man who plays center, you normally would expect him to take the draw, but so there's no point. If he is not out there taking the face-off, he can really be involved in getting the play started once the draw is decided. Whether it's for his team or against the other team, he is so quick. If he's in there taking the face-off, you take away his skating and his ability to jump up on the play very quickly and get things going. That's why he's not in there taking those draws against Bengt Gustafsson.
The puck centered. McSorley tries to keep it in, but Langway moves it ahead now to Kelly Miller. Here comes Miller across the blue line. Gustafsson was ahead of the play. An offside is called.
Now there are 4 great places to go to cheer the Caps on to the Stanley Cup: at the Capitol Center and at all 3 Joe Theismann's restaurant locations. They're in Vienna, Bailey's Crossroads, and Old Town Alexandria. What could be better than enjoying fine American food in a relaxing, friendly atmosphere and watching the Caps games? That's Joe Theismann's restaurant, where good friends meet great food.
Another sellout crowd here this evening. 18,130 on hand for this game between the Capitals and the Kings, and that's the 11th sellout of the season. I understand we've got a few more on the way, but tickets are available for the next home game against the Hartford Whalers, which I believe is on the 3rd of February. 8:05 start on a Friday night. All the usual ticket outlets. Here's Gretzky across the blue line. Chased by Langway. Flips it in front. Larchuk makes the stop, and Christian handles it behind the goal. Back to the point. High shot by Waters. Misses everything. Goes into the corner, and now here's Gretzky with the puck. He tries to center. Ledyard takes over. Grant Ledyard. Right up on the play. Langway comes along to pin Tonelli. It's frozen along the sideboard, but now Christian pokes it free. Here's Dave Christian. In across the Los Angeles line. Passes over to Grant Ledyard. Ledyard tries to give it to Kelly Miller. And DeGray starts out. Wayne Gretzky to Marty McSorley. Puts it right on the stick of his winger, but Dale Hunter was there to make a tackle. He'll get a penalty. Just as Tonelli got the puck, Hunter was right there on it.
Good play by Dale Hunter in that regard, even though the Kings have missed a couple of open nets tonight. John Tonelli coming into this game with 25 goals and certainly knows how to bury the puck in those open nets. Let's head downstairs now to Jeff Rimmer. Thanks, Al. Well, one game on the National Hockey League Home Team Sports scoreboard, and that is a first period score. Bergevin has scored for the Islanders. They lead New Jersey 1-0. Right here on Home Team Sports tomorrow night, we have college basketball. JMU and Richmond tip off tomorrow night at 7:30. Celtics and the Bullets, that's next Tuesday night. And then the Washington Capitals back home after this contest to play Hartford a week from Friday night. Let's go back upstairs. Okay, Jeff, here's a look at the penalty. The right side of your screen, you'll see Tonelli coming in. And again, with that open net to work with, Dale Hunter wanted to make sure he did not get the shot away. Did a great job of doing that. Gets the hooking call at 7:38. Or I guess they're going to actually call him for holding.
Wonder if that's the stick he used on him.
Keep it in there for evidence with Jim Wiseman, normally a goal judge, down there working tonight with the visiting team penalty box. Used to handling evidence,
yes. Gretzky again lining up on the wing. In to work the face-off right now, newcomer Sylvain Couturier. Gustafsson gets the draw. He sends it off the boards. Gretzky back with it. Loops it in behind the net, and Gustafsson sends it all the way down. Kings' first opportunity on the power play, and they rank 14th in the league at 20% with the extra man advantage. The Capitals at 80% while killing them off. That's good for 10th in the league. Couturier fires a shot. He hit the goalpost. Back in the corner, Gretzky, and turned out of there by Scott Stevens and cleared all the way down the ice. Steve Duchesne in across the blue line. Neil Sheehy takes a swing but misses. Now Gretzky in the corner. Flips it out of the zone and all the way out to center ice. Here's Mike Gartner hustling down the right wing. Glenn Healy out of the net. Gartner makes some contact, but the puck comes loose. And it's taken out of the zone to center ice. Gretzky gets across the line to Couturier. His drop pass taken away by Ridley. Handed off to Duchesne. Now Gretzky right in front, and a sliding goal now saved by Malarchuk to stop Bernie Nichols. Here's Ridley, short-handed. He's got Gartner with him. Fakes the shot, passes, and Gartner gives it back. And Ridley's taken out of the play. Ridley was winding up when he saw Gartner come into his vision. Here's Robitaille firing. That's why. Now Casper behind the net. 15 seconds left in the power play for Los Angeles. Here's a backhand shot wide of the net. Krushelnyski back at the point. Into the corner. Scott Stevens in there to chase Casper. Krushelnyski over to Laidlaw. His drive is blocked by Stevens and cleared out of the box. And here's Hunter just missing it. Tries to make a play on Healy, and the Kings keep things moving. Hunter takes it right back in. Dale Hunter centers and misses Kelly Miller. Now Murphy back to Miller again. Capitals at full strength. Grant Ledyard fires on net. Healy makes the save. Laidlaw holds it against the backboard, and Kelly Miller brings it back to the point. Larry Murphy a drive. Healy got his stick on that, and it's cleared into the crowd out of play. Well, the Capitals had the Kings on the run there for a moment, and the crowd appreciates the effort.
But it took a great save by Clint Malarchuk to keep this game even. Malarchuk robbing Bernie Nichols with as quick a move through the crease as you'll ever want to see. Watch how this thing develops. He's over on the left side. Now look how quickly he's able to track there as Nichols is set up perfectly by Wayne Gretzky. And you're not going to see a better save than that on one of the most dangerous goal scorers in the NHL. Fans booing a little bit when the Capitals squander that shorthanded chance. Ridley and Gartner overpassing the puck a little bit, but now have them back on their side after that excellent penalty kill and the chances just moments ago. Well, WMIX Mix 106.5 has Baltimore's best mix of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, plus 10 songs in a row every hour with hardly any talk. Perfect to have on at work, at home, or in your car. That's WMIX Mix 106.5.
Hunter wins the faceoff. Back to Mike Miller. Now over to Grant Ledyard. Larry Murphy to Mike Miller. Over to Steve Leach, and he fires wide of the net. Mike Miller's got something going in front of the goal now. Bringing sticks a bit with DeGray. Here's Leach into the corner. Mike Miller tries to center. That's taken away. Back comes the Kings' Gord Walker. Leads it ahead for Phil Sykes. Out to center ice comes Steve Leach. Leach just missing Mike Miller on a pass. Ron Duguay out to center. Mike Miller takes over. But the Kings come back with a 3-on-2. Here's Sykes across the line. Fires wide of the net. Leach chasing it back to the point. Now in the corner for Larry Murphy. Murphy held up in behind the goal. It's Ledyard to grab it. And Grant Ledyard starts out now to Mike Miller. Ahead to Bobby Gould. Gould gets across the line. Tries to cut in. Fires, and it goes wide. Now Tonelli sends it out of the zone to center ice. Gretzky back to get it. Wayne Gretzky inside the Washington zone. A slap shot. A save by Malarchuk. And Krushelnyski taps home the rebound. The Kings go in front 2-1 as Krushelnyski scores off the rebound of a Gretzky slap shot.
You don't often see Wayne Gretzky take the shot in this situation. Looked like he had a winger to work with, but he does. He winds up, instead of sending it ahead to Krushelnyski, he just let Krushelnyski chase after it, knowing that there probably was a great chance for a rebound. And what a nice little play by Krushelnyski. Malarchuk down, so he's got to lift it, and he shows a nice little touch to lift it quick and into the net. Gretzky gets both Miller, or rather Felix, and Stevens to come up with him. That allows his wingers to bust down. The forwards have got to help out in a little bit of situation like that, and there was room for Krushelnyski to work with. Also McSorley coming from the defense on the other side. So Gretzky picking up the assist. Krushelnyski getting the goal, and the Kings back on top in this game now at 2-1.
Number 14 of the season for Mike Krushelnyski. Gretzky and Tonelli the assists at 11:32. Here's Dave Christian behind the Los Angeles net. Has it taken away. Tonelli tries to work on him, but now it comes over to Dave Christian. And Wayne Gretzky works to center ice. Passes to Tonelli across the line. Krushelnyski ahead of the play, offside.
Here's another guy. We talked a little bit about Marty McSorley, but Krushelnyski, we're thrilled with him out in Los Angeles. Those two guys are really completely forgotten when you talk about the trade. Almost nobody mentions the fact that a couple pretty strong, solid role players came along with Wayne Gretzky to add some depth to the LA Kings. The Kings gave up a lot in terms of players, future draft choices, and certainly a whole bunch of money. Not only did they get Gretzky, but they got a couple of other people to help out. And here you've got McSorley and Krushelnyski playing very vital roles right now for the LA Kings. So this has worked out tremendously in that deal for both sides.
Bobby Gould throws a hit in the corner on Steve Duchesne. Lou Franceschetti pulls alongside, brings it back to Gould. Now Gould tries to center. That's knocked free. And Nichols spins it back to center ice. Lou Franceschetti now over to Scott Stevens. Gould tosses it back inside the Los Angeles zone. Steady in to chase after it. And the Kings come out on the attack. They lead 2-1 over the Capitals here in the second period. Jay Miller flips it on goal. Malarchuk makes the save. A rebound is right in front and popped home by Luc Robitaille. Robitaille found that puck right on his stick and just slammed it past Malarchuk. And the Kings jump out to a 3-1 lead.
Well, this is a masterful play. Miller's the guy who gets the first shot. And watch the way this thing works around. How Robitaille, trailing the play down the middle, shoves his check off. Chased down the puck is Bernie Nichols. And all alone, right down the slot where he is the most dangerous, is Luc Robitaille. Miller makes a nice play, though, draws Larry Murphy out. Means there's a little bit of an opening in front. Tries to get it to Nichols. Nichols keeps up with it. And Lou Franciscetti can't stay with Luc Robitaille coming in from behind on the play. Robitaille bangs it home, and quickly the Kings have jumped ahead by 2.
Number 33 on the season for Luc Robitaille. The time of the goal, 12:49 of the second period. 2-goal margin for Los Angeles.
Assist number 49, Jay Miller.
Here's a break down the right wing. Stephen Leach fires a shot. Blocked by Helix. Now the Kings start out, but a lead pass goes too far for Casper, and Felix has to go back in the corner to get it in his own zone. Dale Hunter behind the goal for Rod Langway. Let out to center, and Duguay backs it up for Waters. Fires it into the Washington zone, and Dale Hunter starts out now for Steve Leach. Here's Leach across the line. He's tripped up, keeps going, chasing into the corner, and Mike Miller works it loose. But it's cleared out of the zone back into the Washington end. Bernie Nichols and Jay Miller get the assists on that goal by Robitaille. Here's Courtnall in alone, a backhand shot saved by Healy. Over to Courtnall. Now Waters in to pick it up. Off the sideboards, and Gretzky tries to get it. He takes it out to center ice. Wayne Gretzky across the blue line. Held up by Gerton. Back to the point. Slap shot by DeGray. A save, a rebound, and again the Kings score. Malarchuk reaching behind him, trying to get that puck as it trickled through his pads, and couldn't find it. And the Kings find easy pickings in the goal crease here to make it 4-1.
Well, Malarchuk certainly is not getting a lot of help up front. Again, the Kings are absolutely flying, a difficult team to keep up with, but you've got to stay disciplined. A little too much room to maneuver. There's the first try. Malarchuk let it get past him. Nobody really there to help him. Gretzky keeps it alive, and then in sacrificing himself and getting the goal in the process is John Tonelli. Look at the way Dale DeGray just wheels around there. The Capitals have got to put a little better checking off the blue line there. You get the defenseman making a move like that, giving plenty of time to shoot. And if he's going to get that shot away, there better be some people back there to help the goaltender out. Hasn't been the case in the last couple of goals. And the Kings have shown their offensive muscle, high fashion style right now, a 4-1 lead.
That's Tonelli's 26th of the season. Gretzky and Duguay get the assists at 14-18. Another Kings opportunity, and Malarchuk turns this aside. Now here's Gretzky trying to center it. It bounces to the point, and Larry Murphy picks it up. Here comes Murphy. Skates to the blue line. He's hooked off his skates. And the puck cleared all the way down back into the Washington zone. Scott Stevens back after it. Stevens moves it ahead to Jeff Courtnall. Healy handles, puts it into the corner now for Laidlaw, and he clears it out to center ice. Langway back into his own zone. Los Angeles has built a 4-1 lead over the Washington Capitals here late in the second period. Ridley pinned to the sideboard. Gartner tries to work it free. Now back over to Courtnall. Again to Gartner. Mike Gartner over to Ridley. Falls on the puck and moves it along with his gloved hand. Now Langway's back after it. Over to Gartner. Gartner knocked down by Miller with a quick thrust of his arm. And he gave him a stiff arm like a football player. Into the corner goes Ledyard. Rod Langway starts out now for the Capitals. Ahead to Gartner on the right wing. He gives it to Ridley across the blue line. Mike Ridley can't get by. And the Kings come back. Robitaille ahead to Nichols. Nichols tries to deke his way in. Robitaille passes, and a shot goes wide. Now into the corner, here's Scott Stevens, who feels that he was tripped up. Steve Leach on the right wing tries to center for Hunter, but that pass misses. Stevens back in neutral ice. Ahead for Hunter. At the blue line, Nichols takes it away. Now to Robitaille, and Stevens gives Robitaille a shot, cuffing him across the back of the head. Here's Mike Miller over to Dale Hunter. Hunter back into the corner for Leach. Duguay's right on him. Leach works free, can't get it centered. Behind the net, backhands it in front, and Healy is able to clear it out in the defense, sending it all the way back into the Washington zone. Kings have really caught up in the shot department. Now it's 21-19 favoring Washington. But on the scoreboard, they lead 4-1. Wayne Gretzky to center. Gets across the blue line. Bobby Gould over to pick it up. Now Gretzky starts back in the left wing, drops it off for Duguay. He fires, and a save made by Malarchuk. Out comes John Druce on the attack. Druce down the right wing. Lets fly a shot that's blocked by Tonelli. Tonelli spun around by Lou Francischetti. Centering pass, Christian a shot. Healy with a save. He stood right up to that and stopped the low drive from Dave Christian. There's a break in the action with a score. The Kings 4 and the Capitals 1.
Get off of that bus. If you want to play slots, leave the driving to us. Just grab a ticket and start to scratch. Instant fun means instant cash. You instant slots from the lottery. You get 3 chances to win instantly. Come on, people, get hot. Hit the jackpot with instant slots.
Stay with us here on Home Team Sports. Our second intermission guest, number 99, the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Let's go back upstairs now to Mike and Al.
All right, Jeff, the Kings really pouring it on, scoring 3 goals in 2 minutes and 36 seconds. As they had or rather 3 minutes and 36 seconds, with a real outburst here to take a 4-1 lead over the Washington Capitals. Only 2:04 left to play here in the second period. The Caps goal came back in the first period on a power play effort from Mike Ridley. Here in the second, Krushelnyski, Robitaille, and Tonelli have all connected for the Los Angeles Kings. Had an assist change. It's Dale DeGray assisting on the Tonelli goal, the last LA score. DeGray instead of Duguay. So DeGray and Gretzky helping out on Tonelli's 26. Dave Christian into the corner. Gives it to Kelly Miller. Now over to Christian. Chased to the backboards by Crossman. Now to Miller. Gustafson has it behind the net. Turns around and tries to backhand it on goal, but that's swatted and cleared all the way down by the Kings defense, and as soon as he's back for it, icing was called. I think the Capitals are very aware, Al, that it's a potent scoring machine, this Los Angeles Kings hockey club, but until that last outburst, it seemed like the Caps felt they might stay in a low-scoring game.
Well, you know, they had given up the early goal, 41 seconds into the game. Then they tightened up. Everybody played a very disciplined game. Covered their men, did not let the Kings really start flying around, even though Los Angeles missed a couple nice scoring opportunities by failing to hit the net. And all of a sudden, the Capitals got themselves out of rhythm, out of sync, which has been the problem over the last 3 games. And bang, you get those guys who are always dangerous with the puck, given plenty of room to maneuver, time to do something with it, some lanes to travel in, and the Kings just turned it on that way because the Capitals weren't disciplined.
Here's a shot by Ridley right across the goal mouth. Back to the left point. Scott Stevens keeps it in. He gives it to Courtnall. Courtnall held up by Tim Waters, and now the puck comes over to Ridley. Ridley jammed by Laidlaw, held against the corner boards. We're in the final minute of play in the period. And the Kings break out. Here's Casper across the blue line, tied up by Stevens. Now Larry Murphy. Passed off the boards to center, and Nichols puts it back inside the Washington zone. Now over to Stevens. At center ice, Casper turns it back into the Capitals' end, and Malarchuk plays it to the corner for Larry Murphy. He passes out to Ridley. Right wing side, it goes to Mike Gartner. Now to Courtnall. At the blue line, the play broken up, and the Kings come back. Here's Nichols to Gretzky. Robitaille on the right wing, waits for the pass, and it was there, but he couldn't get his stick on it. Now another centering attempt, and he couldn't get a shot off this time, and Robitaille a bit frustrated as he had 2 chances at Malarchuk.
Let's also give the Kings' great transition game plenty of credit, and there was a perfect example of it. Batting the puck back at their own blue line were the Kings, led by Bernie Nichols. Quickly, just in one quick move, it becomes 3-on-2. Gretzky fakes the shot, gets Malarchuk to commit. There's the help out that we're talking about that was lacking a couple of the other goals, as Mike Ridley helped get in there. Ridley sticking there, making things a lot more difficult. But again, the beauty of the Kings in that transition game, you create a turnover, and with one quick pass and then some excellent skating, you're all of a sudden right on top of the other team. They've been doing that very well in this second period.
Here's Nichols to work the faceoff now against Dale Hunter. The draw comes back to Langway. We have a delayed penalty call coming against Los Angeles. Malarchuk doesn't see it. Now he sees the hand raised by Paul Stewart. Time will run out, and the penalty will be called at the 20-minute mark of the period. And it's going to be high sticking against the Kings. So the Caps will start play in the third period on the power play. Shots on goal in the second period. Los Angeles with 13, a 2-period total of 20. And the Washington Capitals with 9, a 2-period total of 22. More hockey action from the Cap Center after these words on Home Team Sports.
Stop wasting time and money. Get competitive. Get computerized. Call the knowledgeable professionals at MCS to find customized computer systems for business and personal use. MCS offers comprehensive service, a 15-month warranty, the best in software, and best of all, great prices. MCS has new laser printers in stock. Avoid the high cost of typesetting and produce fantastic quality brochures and documents. Call our Oxon Hill or Camp Springs location today. With MCS, controlling the information overload is just a keyboard away.
Imagine one cable channel with something for everyone. It would have programs for kids.
Come on, Jerry, get up. Is it time for Mickey?
For families.
What's on TV? A special on the Disney Channel. I want to watch.
And some things just for you.
Your favorite movie's on.
Great. I'll make the popcorn.
There is one channel that offers so much entertainment. It's like getting 3 channels in one.
There's a special feeling of giant food in everything we do. It's a feeling that you get from people who care. We put quality and value in everything we do. But most of all, we care about you. At Giant Food, we care about you.
Today, our expedition came upon the grandest canyon I ever did see. Our leader promptly named it Grand Canyon. Heck, my mule could have thought up a better name than that.
When something's spectacular, you don't need a spectacular name. So, at Hardee's, we call our burger the Big Deluxe. Thicker, juicier, more burger to win you over.
I would have named it the Amazingly Huge Hole.
The Big Deluxe. More burger, less name.
This year, my son and I took some time to photograph the beauty of nature. Then, naturally, we looked for the Kodak Color Watch seal. The Color Watch seal means that Kodak system checks the developing for great color. But our father and son see things differently. This is my idea of natural beauty, and this is his. The Kodak Color Watch system. You're going to thank me for it. Because he's single, see, and...
Stop by any People's Drugstore for the quality film developing your prints deserve.
And we're back live here on Home Team Sports. The Washington Capitals see the Los Angeles Kings score 3 straight unanswered goals. And now after 2 periods of play with a 4-1 lead here. The first of 2 regular season meetings for the Los Angeles Kings. And number 99, Wayne Gretzky here at the Capitol Center. Welcome back. Jeff Rimmer with you in our second intermission. And the Los Angeles Kings making a rare sellout here at the Capitol Center. But I can tell you honestly, that is the story around the National Hockey League. With this young man to my left joining us here in the second intermission, a great human being, outstanding hockey player, and certainly a young man that's done a lot for the game of hockey, not only in Los Angeles, but in the United States. And Wayne, enough has been said about your move to Los Angeles. Now you've settled in and made the Kings a pretty respectable hockey club.
Well, we're playing pretty well, and you know, we have a pretty good hockey club. We've made a few nice moves over the off-season and into the new season. We've I feel, gained some players with records that have come from winning teams and winning atmospheres. And I think for so long the Los Angeles Kings were a team that lost so many hockey games that it's easy to spread bad through the locker room. And right now the enthusiasm is very high. Unfortunately, we lost 3 tough games the last 3 games, but that happens in a year. We didn't feel we played poorly. We felt we got beat, but hopefully we learned from it. I'm interested in your thoughts on a couple of stories that surfaced about the Los Angeles Kings before your arrival. Number 1, the tough, grueling road schedule. Have you noticed a tremendous difference playing in Los Angeles as opposed to playing in Edmonton and maybe traveling a little less? Well, no question the teams that play in the West have a lot tougher than teams in the East. Vancouver, LA, Edmonton, and Calgary are probably the 4 teams that have it worse than anyone. But I think that being in California, being in LA, it's always nice to go home. The weather's always nice. I think that for the LA Kings, we have more direct flights than Edmonton. Unfortunately for the Edmonton club, they do a lot of traveling that they have to stop, and it takes a long time to get there. So I don't think the traveling is worse in LA than Edmonton. I think if I would have been traded from New York to LA, it would have been a drastic change. But no, the traveling hasn't been a problem at all. It's been pretty much the same as Edmonton. Okay, next question. One of the stories about the Los Angeles Kings and playing for a team like that is, as you mentioned, the weather's so outstanding there. Has that been a distraction to you? And is it really a legitimate distraction to say that, hey, it's tough to get into a hockey frame of mind playing on the West Coast with all that sun and fun? I think it's tough to get into any kind of hockey atmosphere if you're not putting a lot of people in the building, if you're not drawing well, and if you're not winning. And all those things have changed this year. We're selling out pretty much every night. You know, we're winning hockey games. We're battling with Edmonton for second place. We're fighting for third place overall in the NHL. We've had a fine season, and when that happens, the weather's always nice. Our home record's been very, very good this year, and we're pretty proud of that. And we've made teams come into California and forget about Holiday Inn and realize they got a hockey game under their belts. I'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate you and Janet on your firstborn. I know you're very excited about that. Well, all the things you do in life are pretty exciting, but until you have your own kids, there's no feeling like it. I feel very fortunate the baby is very healthy, and you know, I have a great wife, and everything is going very well for me. Do you like the fact that you're in Los Angeles and you can get lost and not have to worry about people bothering you 24 hours a day? Well, you know, I guess a lot has been made of that. You know, nobody really ever bothered me in Edmonton. The people were great to me, and people in Edmonton and the people in Canada were nothing but first class. But I think that for us now, it's not. We don't have all eyes on us. We can kind of be lost, and you know, there's other people in California that are written about and talked about. So we can kind of hide a little bit more, which makes it a lot easier for us, and we don't feel like everyone's watching our every move. Okay, not everybody knows that Wayne Gretzky's an outstanding athlete and a former shortstop in Canada, coming out of that Brantford, Ontario area. Little story here: a couple of years ago, Wayne, while still with the Oilers back home and in the Toronto area, and he was supposed to work out with the Baltimore Orioles. And as Jimmy Williams, who made this presentation to me on behalf of Wayne, and I'm going to show you that the Orioles may soon have a new performer. Hey, Wayne, how about a little baseball in the wintertime or summertime when you're out of the so-called hockey season? Well, I think there's only one Bo Jackson. I don't think there's too many of us that can do it, but I appreciate the swear from Mr. Williams and wear it with great pride. Jimmy Williams, former Orioles first base coach, and he also told me to tell Wayne that this is when the Orioles were still a pretty credible ball club, and they're on their way back. And Wayne, you're invited to work out with the Orioles anytime. All right, thank you very much. Wayne Gretzky, the Los Angeles Kings, and back with more of our intermission right after this.
TWA kept something in mind when we made our 747 business class seat the widest in the sky. People sometimes cross their legs. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
I get paid to fly on TWA. I'm part of the new quality control team. I report directly to the chairman on what's good and what needs improving. When he's happy, you're happy.
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
I know Merchants Tire and Auto Centers have all the famous brand tires at guaranteed lowest prices, but I didn't know they do repairs too. Everything from oil changes to tune-ups and brakes. And best of all, Merchants treats my car like it's their own. And only Merchants has these written guarantees. So I guess I go to Merchants because I trust them.
Service that you trust, guaranteed.
Merchants Tire and Auto Centers.
In the Tidewater area, you know the Henry Johnson Tire and Auto Centers.
And in Durham, you know the Rigsby Tire and Auto Centers.
Well, they're all part of the Merchants Group,
where you can get service that you trust, guaranteed.
Of all the Subarus registered since 1978, 92% are still on the road, which could mean this four-wheel drive Subaru will still be good on a hill when other cars are over it. The low-priced Subaru Justy with four-wheel drive. Think of it as a Range Rover that's more in your range.
Remember when every song on the radio was your favorite? Oldies Radio, WQSR. The music that made you feel good then is making you feel good all over again. Oldies Radio, WQSR. Finally, a station that plays all oldies. Oldies Radio, WQSR FM 105.7.
Champions in Georgetown, the American Sports Bar invites you to join us for good times, good food, and good sports. Come and enjoy your favorite sporting events on local and satellite TV. And if you need to plan a party or special event, give us a call.
The Kings have opened up a 4-1 lead over the Washington Capitals after 2 periods of hockey here at the Capitol Center. Mike Forens, along with Al Koken, welcoming you back once again to our live coverage here on Home Team Sports. Well, the Kings really got going. It looked like the Caps might be able to play a low-scoring game with Los Angeles until suddenly they scored 3 goals in that quick outburst.
Well, the Caps weren't real disciplined in letting the Kings come back, although you have to give so much credit to that LA firepower, their great transition game. And it'll show you on one of their goals some excellent hard work. When Gretzky gets the attention, everybody else knows, get towards the net, and good things will happen. The Capitals seemingly have things under control for the most part after the Kings scored with 41 seconds gone in the game. But then the little couple breakdowns really let LA crawl right back in it.
First, let's take a look at our TWA shot chart for Washington and show you the Capital shots in the second period.
Well, there you see the Washington shots. And again, they had some pretty decent shots going. Glenn Healy came up with some nice saves, but not a lot of second chances. That's one of the things that I give credit for the Kings. They don't have a lot of big physical people there on defense, but for the most part, they did not let the Capitals set up shop and get second and third chances, which is how LA scored one of their goals.
All right, now here's the Los Angeles Kings shot chart, and we can show you that all 3 of those goals came from practically the same location.
Well, there's the difference. You're getting 99 involved in the play. Bernie Nichols with a couple good chances. We're going to show you the last goal by number 27, John Tonelli. And again, watch what happens when this man, Wayne Gretzky, is on the ice. 1 guy with him, 2 guys with him. As he takes the play, that starts to open up some territory. Let's start the play here, and watch as people converge on him. Now things start opening up. The pass comes back to the blue line. Now stop it right here. This player's got to go here. Here comes John Tonelli, but the difficult thing for Jeff Courtnall, which way? Do I go this way, or do I really keep my responsibility, the man I'm supposed to keep checking, with that other defenseman? Well, you'll see what happens. Which Gretzky starts breaking back towards the net. Stop it here. The shot is taken. It even goes down to block it, but look who's all alone back here. That is Wayne Gretzky. Now, he's going to come in when that shot from DeGray gets behind Malarchuk and try and put a chance on it. And then here comes John Tonelli. He's going to be the guy to follow in and dive in. You've got that opening. 2 guys are taking Gretzky. Now they lose him. Now look at John Tonelli with the eye for the puck. just going right after it and jamming it home. The problems you get when one guy makes the move and two guys goes after Gretzky, all of a sudden things open up, and he is so good at making sure those openings are taken advantage of. In this case, he shakes away from the two guys, gets in there, keeps the play alive, and we talked about the resurgence of John Tonelli. You remember him when he was with the New York Islanders? Is that not exactly what John Tonelli used to do all the time? If he wasn't busting in off that left wing, he was jamming in front of the net, diving in there, poking at loose pucks, and there he gets one in classic John Tonelli style.
He was always known as one of the best corner men in the game, and he's sure showing those traits tonight. Right now, we'd like you to stay tuned for the Kodak People's Drugstore flashback.
Kodak and People's Drugstores present Flashback.
That I announce, and I guess more important, confirm that the Edmonton Oilers have agreed to trade Wayne Gretzky to Los Angeles.
It's August 9th, 1988, and Edmonton Oilers owner Peter Pocklington announces the biggest trade in NHL history as Wayne Gretzky is sent to the LA Kings. Pocklington explains that Gretzky's recent marriage to Hollywood actress Janet Jones and his desire to live in LA were what prompted the emotional trade.
An 89 Geo Metro is just $117 a month. An 89 S10 pickup is just $132 a month. An 89 Cavalier is just $137 a month. Where? At All Stars Chevrolet in Elkridge. Convenient from everywhere. All Stars beats buying services, fleet prices, and credit unions. Fact is, if you can buy it cheaper anywhere else, buy it.
What's the difference between a fresh biscuit and Hardee's biscuit made fresh from scratch? This should give you some idea.
Right.
Hardee's Rise and Shine biscuits, made fresh from scratch because we're out to win you over.
If you're searching for great oldies on the radio, the search ends here.
Extra 104, now with 10 great oldies in a row.
Well, she was just 17.
Extra 104 is the only Washington radio station that gives you great oldies all the time. Great oldies from the 60s, back-to-back, non-stop. So, for your favorite oldies anytime, remember, set a button on your radio to 104.1 FM. Extra 104, great oldies all the time.
Washington Capitals game coverage on Home Team Sports is brought to you by Hardee's. We're out to win you over. Well, it's only about a week and a half until the Orioles Dream Week begins, and right now here's my partner, who I'm sure will be sharing a lot of liniment with me, Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. You know, we talk about Dream Week, we talk about baseball, we visited with Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky, truly an outstanding shortstop that the Toronto Blue Jays showed some interest in while he was playing, and still a junior hockey player. But I'll tell you one thing, Wayne Gretzky very pleased with that Orioles jersey. He wanted that right away. We offered to hold it for him until the end of the game. He said, no, I'm not letting that one out of my sight. So Wayne Gretzky, truly an outstanding baseball fan, as well as certainly one of the premier players still in the National Hockey League, if not the very best. And of course, that brings up the debate, Lemieux versus Gretzky. But one thing I think everybody will agree with, particularly those hockey fans of the Los Angeles Kings, that Gretzky's brought the Oilers up to the Los Angeles Kings up to an entirely new level, and they hope to go all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. And Bruce McNall telling us in the pregame show that Rogie Vachon not finished dealing yet. They'll make the trades necessary to make them a Stanley Cup contender come the spring. Third period action upcoming. The Washington Capitals trailing by 3 and looking to get back in this hockey game. And let's rejoin your play-by-play crew of Mike Fornes and Al Coca.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Capitals will have the power play to start out on. Marty McSorley called to the end of the second period for high sticking. Capitals still leading in shots, but obviously the quality chances vastly favoring the LA Kings. Face-offs about even right now. Penalty minutes more against the Kings, and the Capitals will see if they can slice into this Los Angeles lead with the extra man right now.
Marty McSorley's in the penalty box for high sticking from the 20-minute mark of the second period. And the Capitals have Mike Miller out there with Mike Wrigley and Mike Gartner. Murphy and Stevens are back on defense. Over to the left point. Here's Scott Stevens' shot, blocked by Krushelnyski. Mike Miller picks it up. Stevens a drive that's deflected up off the glass. Mike Miller in the corner. Over to Ridley. Back to Miller. Again to Ridley. Mike Miller has it taken away, and Ridley comes in to help him out. He's hooked, but gets it over to Mike Miller. Centering pass off the stick of Gartner. Played behind the net. Mike Miller tried to backhand it. Ridley a shot. Oh, and Healy's got it stuck against the goalpost with his arm. And a good scoring opportunity for both Ridley and Mike Miller as they had cracks at Healy.
Well, this is a great save by Glenn Healy. Mike Miller will come from around the other side, swinging in on the backhand. It won't go in as it just sails wide on that post, but Ridley picks it up. He's got the chance, and look at the way Healy comes over, almost reminiscent of the save that Clint Malarchuk made earlier in the game, sweeping from one side of the net to the other and sticking out those skates. The most dangerous Capitals goal scorer this year, Mike Ridley, and he's got a golden opportunity. He's got to fish it back in, though. That's the only problem. He's got to take it from the backhand, get it up onto the forehand. That gave Healy just a little time to get over, but still a magnificent save by the LA goaltender. Likewise, we've got an opportunity, like to say hello to Lorraine and Joseph Fava, the parents of youth hockey down in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Kimball Brace wants to say hi to his Chris, and reminder, Chris, it's after 9 o'clock, so you better get into bed. And Ivan LeBray, longtime Capital.
Ivan LeBray go to bed.
Yeah, time for Ivan LeBray to go to bed. He's not here because he is sick. Didn't come into the office today. Now, I'm a little curious. Ivan LeBray looked pretty healthy the last time I saw him. Have any coincidence to a 63-degree day in January? The golf clubs possibly get out a little bit? Was that?
We just saw him last night, didn't we?
Looked fine.
Looked okay to me then.
63 degrees in January may have a few people phoning in.
Maybe the doctor told him. You need a little R&R out on the links. Here's the draw back to Gustafson on the right point. Now over to Courtnall. Again to Bengt Gustafson. 45 seconds left in the power play. Courtnall's shot off the glove of Healy. Played off the sideboards, and Gustafson throws to the left point. Here's Stevens to Courtnall. Taken away, and Gretzky turns to start back. Wayne Gretzky for Los Angeles. In across the blue line. Out to center ice, and Dave Christian steals. Here's Christian, left wing side. Scott Stevens sends it right across the goal mouth. Now we've got a fight going at the side of the net, and Dale Hunter has landed the first several punches in there, but Laidlaw and Christian have fallen in on top of the pile. Glenn Healy did not get involved. He had the best vantage point right to the left of his goal. But linesmen Mark Vines and Gord Brosiker are in there to try and pull the players apart from the pile. And what started as just some pushing and shoving at the side of the net suddenly saw Hunter knocking his man down and throwing some right hands in there on his Los Angeles opponent.
See if this costs the Capitals any extra time. Now watch it. Hunter is being held up a little bit, but in nice defensive fashion. But there comes the shot to the head by Hunter.
But
and
Tim
he's
Waters.
got Waters down, and he's throwing all the punches, and without Waters getting any punches in, this could be a major to Dale Hunter. And only a minor to Tim Waters. Discussion with Brosiker, Vines, and referee Paul Stewart.
2 minutes for roughing. 2 minutes for roughing.
Okay. So we got two different.
Well, the Capitals get a slight break in that regard.
For 32. Washington, 2 minutes roughing for number 5.
It'll be a double minor to Hunter for roughing, single minor for roughing to Tim Waters. It looked to me like it certainly could have been a major penalty to Dale Hunter for fighting. He had the gloves off and was certainly throwing punches. Certainly would have qualified for a major.
You know, there was a big confab in Toronto just a couple of weeks ago with all the officials. I'm starting to think now that they have instructed these guys to call this different. We've seen this a couple times. Remember in the game that Marawelli had here, where it just seemed as though there were so many calls that really could have been fights. And they were double minors for roughing. We saw it several times in that game. Now it's happening again here. I think that they've been told to call things different.
Sure looks that way, because we haven't seen that many double minors for roughing all year, and particularly when the gloves are off and punches are being thrown. I mean, if that doesn't say to me, at least the way they've been calling it for years and years and years, if it's a fight. almost automatically in that regard, a fight. I don't know. You know, just from what we saw in the replay, I would think Ryan Murray should be pleased that it's a double minor. Because if it's a major penalty, once Waters' time was out, and it would be 3 minutes still served by Dale Hunter, the Kings could continue to score without Hunter coming out. From what we saw in that replay, unless Brian Murray wanted an interference call on Waters, but again, from the tail end of the replay that we saw, it looked like Waters had just gotten himself into pretty good position to prevent Hunter from cutting into the net to pick up that Scott Stevens pass.
Four skaters aside. Still 18 seconds left on the call to McSorley. The Kings get the power play here shortly as McSorley comes back. Courtnall serving the extra minor on Hunter's behalf. Bobby Gould out at center ice now for the Capitals. Starts across the line. Penalty's over. The Kings now with a man advantage. In the Los Angeles zone, here's Tonelli turning to start out. Bobby Gould doing a good job of forechecking. But Nichols throws it out to center ice, and Tonelli chases it back inside the Washington zone. Now Nichols goes rink wide. And Rod Langway trying to chase after the Kings' Doug Crossman. Here's Neil Sheehy to come back and clears it all the way down the ice. Tonelli off the backboard. And out to center, all the way back inside the Washington zone. Scott Stevens is back to chase it. Nichols chasing him, and Stevens caroms it off the boards out to center ice. 35 seconds left until Courtnall comes out, serving the Hunter minor. Gretzky across the line, drops it for Tonelli. Now back to Crossman. Crossman with the puck. Gives to Tonelli. Into Gretzky in the corner. And off the skate of Nichols, or off Duchesne rather, it comes out to Gustafsson. Here's Gustafsson walking inside the Los Angeles zone, leaves it for Christian to Gustafsson. He fires up high and misses the net. Time running out on the Kings power play. Here's Robitaille. Trying to center, and Neil Sheehy knocks that free. Now it's sent all the way down the ice. Laidlaw back to pick it up. Off the boards to center. Mike Gartner's out after it. Over to Ledyard. Too far for Courtnall. Caps back at full strength. Here's a slap shot by Robitaille, and that's stopped by the shoulder of Malarchuk. Clint Malarchuk pushing it into the corner. Larry Murphy makes the play. Out to Mike Gartner. Gartner gets across the line on the right wing for Ridley. Laidlaw back to chase it. Hunter still has time to serve in the box, but the Capitals are at full strength on the ice now. The puck cleared all the way down, and Malarchuk makes the play up the right wing boards for Larry Murphy. Murphy out to center ice for Gartner. Tosses it into the Los Angeles zone. Here's Krushelnyski back to get it. He puts it behind the net. Over to Steve Duchesne. Robitaille ahead for Gretzky. Bob Gould trying to break up the play. Now Tonelli shoves it on back to the Capitals line. Chris Felix out to Gartner. Again into the Kings zone. There's Felix in his own end for the Capitals, out to center. Played into the Caps end, and Bob Gould to John Druce. Krushelnyski takes it behind the goal, now tries to center. It's knocked away. Gretzky tried to stuff it in the short side on a wraparound, and Malarchuk stops it. Here's another drive by Tonelli, and Malarchuk hangs on to that. 14:27 to go in the third period. There's a break in the action with a score: the Kings 4 and the Caps 1.
The '89 Toyotas are here. Check them out.
Yes, boss.
Oh, may I help you?
Just looking. Your Toyota dealer has lots of 89s, and he's starting the model year with remarkable savings.
This is hot.
So are the deals.
Right now, you can save up to $1,050 on option packages.
Got immediate delivery?
Yep.
Get the goods?
Yep.
See your Toyota dealer today for a remarkable deal on a remarkable Toyota.
You'll see the tail end of Kelly Miller being helped to the Washington Capitals dressing room. We'll try and get an update on his injury. Here's a great series of work put in by Clint Malarchuk. Once again, moving back and forth through that crease. Gretzky tries the wraparound attempt. One shot is stopped. The second shot is stopped. Malarchuk clears that rebound out. Krushelnyski hits the post. Then there's going to be another whack at it, and Malarchuk has to make one more save. So fine work again in the goal by Clint Malarchuk as the Kings continue to buzz.
He was outstanding on that flurry. Here's Sheehy moving it ahead to Dave Christian. Christian gets across the blue line. Christian cutting in, can't get the shot off. Now we've got a penalty call coming up out of a pile up in the corner, and it's going to be holding. I think this is going to be against Los Angeles. Hunter's been released from the penalty box, and this will be against the Kings defenseman Doug Crossman for holding. Time of the call, 5:52 of the third.
We'd like to welcome Regency Sport and Health Clubs to the home team sports family of sponsors. It's a great place to get in shape and stay in shape. Call the club in Tyson's Corner at 556-6550 and sign up today. Once again, we want to welcome Regency Sport and Health Club as a new home team sports sponsor. Mike Miller trying to cut in on that other side to get into a position to either get a rebound or a pass. Wrestled down to the ice on that right side of your screen by Doug Crossman, holding the call at 5:52.
Here's Larry Murphy back on the right point. Good opportunity for the Caps to get back in this game. They trail 4-1. 14 minutes to go here in period 3. Shot by Larry Murphy is caught by Glenn Healy. Healy gave up 5 goals, and the Kings lost to the Hartford Whalers the other night.
So much attention focused down low. Larry Murphy using that opportunity to sneak in right there by the hash marks of that face-off circle. Snaps the quick shot. Glove save from Healy.
From the draw, Miller rushes in, brings it back to the point for Murphy. Kelly Miller has been taken off the ice because of an injury. Here's Gretzky down the left wing side. Winds and fires, and Malarchuk got his glove on it. Gardner chases it out to center. Here's Mike Gardner across the blue line. Tries to split the defense. Mike Miller hammers on the doorstep. That's knocked away. Stevens has to chase it back out to center. Scott Stevens. A wayward pass. Larry Murphy has to chase it back into his own end. Stevens was caught up because Gardner was held back inside the Kings zone and had to throw a pass, and it went wide of Murphy. Murphy tries to keep it in, does the job, goes to the corner after it. Now Krushelnyski tips it back to the point. Dale Hunter has the puck. Over to Mike Ridley. Ridley has it taken away, and it's cleared by Robitaille all the way down the ice. Dale Hunter, left wing side for Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall cutting in, takes it behind the net. Run to the sideboards. Hunter tries to help him out. Here comes Robitaille on the attack. Flips it back to the Washington line. Chris Felix for the Capitals. Right side for Dave Christian. Drop pass for Courtnall. Back to Courtnall to Christian right in front. Out of the left point for Gustafson. Over to Felix. His slap shot deflected wide. Courtnall chases to the corner. Dave Christian works it free. Now back to the point again for Gustafson. His shot blocked, and Crossman starts out and tips it all the way down, and it goes too far for Robitaille. Malarchuk sends it out of the zone. Both clubs at full strength. Rod Langway at the blue line, jammed up with Castro. Now Steve Leach Out to center, but McSorley takes it away and tosses it on into the Washington zone. Chris Felix over to Rod Langway, to Bobby Gould, ahead to John Druce. Here's Druce across the line, tries to get around McSorley. He's hit. Gould throws it in behind the net to Steve Leach. Leach chases to the corner. Leach on his backhand. Poked out of the zone to center ice, and Langway hustles into his own end to get it. Out to Bobby Gould. Stolen and taken back now by Druce. But here's Ledyard to pick it up inside the Washington zone. Ledyard flips it across the line. Back into the Kings' end, and Laidlaw is there for it. He's bumped by Ledyard. Centering pass for Gustafson, picked off right in front. The Kings on the attack. Mike Miller. Hit by Tonelli. Throws it on into the corner, and now Scott Stevens is back to take it. Stolen puck. Wayne Gretzky has it tipped aside, and here comes Bengt Gustafson on the comeback. Over to Dave Christian on the right wing. Now to Gustafson in the corner. Back out to the right point. Dave Christian's shot goes wide. The Kings recover, and it's cleared all the way down the ice. No icing on the play. There's been no scoring here in the third period. Jeff Courtnall over to Dale Hunter. Hunter back to Steve Leach. His high drive goes off the glass. Now Courtnall tries to ram it home, but it's poked back to the corner. Leach is there for the scramble. Tripped over the stick of Nichols, and the puck cleared all the way down. Gretzky takes his line to the bench to change up. As Stevens goes back for the touch, it's icing. 9:39 to go here in the third period, and the Kings with a 4-1 lead. Once again, here is Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. One game on our home team sports out-of-town scoreboard. That one at Long Island. The Islanders now leading 2-1. New Jersey just getting on the scoreboard. They're in the second period. Bergevin and Sutter have scored for the Islanders. As I said, the Devils just scoring. We do not have that goal scorer for you, but we will have it for you in a few minutes. As far as our next home team sports telecast, that'll be college basketball. Tomorrow night, Richmond at home to JMU. The Celtics and the Bullets will be our next NBA telecast. That's next Tuesday night, a week from tonight. 7:30 is tip-off. And then our next home team sports Washington Capitals telecast a week from Friday, Hartford Whalers and the Washington Capitals. Let's go back upstairs now to Mike and Al.
Playing their way back in the Los Angeles zone, and Rod Langway puts it behind the Los Angeles net. For the Kings, coming out is Doug Crossman. Tips it out to center ice. Neil Sheehy fires it back on the Kings ice, and it's played out of the zone to center. Los Angeles 4, Washington 1 with 9:14 to play here in the third period. Rod Langway behind the net. Passes up the right wing side now for Mike Garten. Now to Ridley. In across the line. Ridley fires a shot. Stick save to Healy. The puck cleared to the point for Sheehy. His drive didn't make it to the net. It bounces off DeGray and is cleared to the right wing board. Francis in to try and chase it. Here's Sheehy out to center. Now Scott Stevens ahead for Mike Garten. Left wing side for John Druce. Got a penalty call coming up against Los Angeles. A delayed call. Here's a shot by Felix. On goal. The Kings finally touch the puck, and the whistle blows to stop play with 8:21 to go in the third period. And there's a minor penalty call coming here against Los Angeles at 11:39, and we've got a misconduct penalty coming as well. Let's see if it's the same player that's going to get the 10 that's going to get the 2. And it looks like Bernie Nichols is headed off the ice with a misconduct.
Oh, my. Misconduct is blue misconduct.
Now, I think DeGray gets the minor. Let's see if he takes a seat in the penalty box. Yes, it's going to be Dale DeGray off for the minor, and Nichols is through for the evening.
Here are the penalties.
February 3rd is the Capitals' 15th anniversary photo album night. It's sponsored by Trustworthy Hardware. Be sure to get your tickets early by calling phone charge at 432-0200 or stop by your nearest ticket center outlet. It's when the Hartford Whalers come in on Friday night, February 3rd, an 8 p.m. game. And it's the 15th anniversary photo album night, sponsored by Trustworthy Hardware. The interference is the call right in front of the net. Mike Ridley taken completely out of the play, dumped down by Dale DeGray. That will get the call. I don't know what Bernie Nichols said after that, because it was almost that very same moment. As soon as he signaled the penalty for interference, he also jammed the hands on the hip, signifying the misconduct for Bernie Nichols.
Bernie Nichols has only taken 44 minutes in penalties coming into this contest, but he picks up 20 more with a 10-minute misconduct plus a game misconduct. So whatever it was, he said to Paul Stewart, it was either about his parents or about the city of Boston. Stewart, of course, from Boston, Massachusetts. Here's Murphy at the right point. Now over to Courtnall. In front, Christian's drive off the glass wide. Stevens hustles to the point to keep it in, but Gretzky takes over. Picked up now by Courtnall. Over to Murphy. Murphy does a good job of keeping it inside the zone, but the Kings now clear it all the way down. Power play hockey and another opportunity for the Capitals to score here with a man advantage. Christian on the left wing side gives to Courtnall. He fires. Healy makes the save.
Kings bunch it up very well. Front of the net, down in that slot area, keeping the Capitals pretty much for their shooting on the perimeter on this power play. Courtnall sends that drive in from the left wing. It's available for a moment. Still, Healy quickly covers up, but he would have had some help. I give this King team a lot of credit, Mike. You know, you don't think of them for defense for obvious reasons. They've given up more than 200 goals, 201 coming into tonight's game, but they played a pretty tight game in front of Glenn Healy for the most part. Healy's done a nice job with the save so far, 28 on 29 Capital shots, but not a lot of second chances that we talked about. And Caps have been unable to do much since that early power play goal from Mike Ridley with the extra man.
Here's Scott Stevens chasing it back into his own zone. As Ron Duguay in pursuit. Leads it out to Ridley at center. Ridley gets across the line into the Los Angeles zone. Tries to flip it in front, and it's cleared all the way down again by the Kings, who still have 38 seconds to kill on the penalty to Dale DeGray. Here's Gartner. Hooked to the ice by Robitaille. There'll be another penalty call. Out of the nets comes Malarchuk. Here is Langway at the left point. A slap shot tipped up off the glass. The Caps get a sixth attacker on. Here's Gartner. A drive, a shot, and a goal! Mike Miller tipped it home. Glenn Healy is hot. He thinks that was hit in by a high stick. But Paul Stewart is saying the goal counts. And the Kings lead is cut to 4-2.
Watch Mike Miller. Keep an eye as his stick above his shoulders. You see Stewart's arm up. There was going to be a penalty. Here comes that flip drive in from Gartner. Well, it starts up around the shoulders. He picks it up. But I think time he makes contact with the puck, that definitely is down below the shoulders. Watch it again. Ridley sends it out to the point. Mike Gartner just kind of flips it towards the net. I think definitely Mike Miller's stick was definitely below the shoulders once he got his stick on the puck. It was up high for a moment, but watch again. That's almost where he gets that puck. It's almost down there around his thighs where he actually makes contact with the puck. So a big goal for the Capitals to give them life in this game. They're down by 2 still, but they've got 6 minutes, 38 seconds to work.
See, it makes no difference that he's got the butt end of that stick held up trying to make the adjustment. You can see where by the time he moves the stick down, the butt end might have been up at shoulder level, but the stick contact with the puck was way down around between his waist and his knees. Glenn Healy's complaint was not heard by any of the officials involved, and the Caps are on the board now at 4-2.
Well, because the Capitals scored that goal before the whistle could blow to signify the LA penalty, that penalty is waved out as well. So now we've got
Here's Langway across the line, gives to Hunter, and now back to Leach. Played by Duguay out of the zone, and Sykes starts out to center ice. Here's Hunter to toss it back into the corner. Goose back to get it. Digs it out. And Sykes pulls up alongside with Leach now, and they freeze it in. There's a break in the action with a score. The Kings 4 and the Capitals 2.
I get all my hockey information right here on the Washington Capitals Stars and Stripes.
Get your subscription now. Call 386-7000.
I have an important message for you, Minicky. I am not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
At Meineke, you get quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed.
Imagine this is all the heat you can afford to keep your family warm this winter. Now imagine that it's gone.
Wayne Gretzky, the acting captain of the Los Angeles Kings, looking on right now. The Capitals trying to get a little momentum established. They pulled it within 2, 5:52 left to go. Face-off will be in the Kings zone between Krushelnyski and Bengt Gustafsson.
Gus gets the draw. Mike Miller to the point. A slap shot by Larry Murphy deflected wide. Now Marty McSorley has it for Los Angeles. Taken away by Dave Christian, but the Kings come out on the attack. Gretzky, left wing pass right on the stick of Tonelli. He fires, but it's wide of the goal. Krushelnyski dumps it into the corner. Here's Scott Stevens behind the net. Stevens up the left wing boards for Mike Miller, and out to center ice again for Gustafsson. He's across the line to Murphy on the right wing. Out comes Tonelli to Krushelnyski inside the Washington zone. Hit by Scott Stevens. Off the boards to the point, and McSorley has to chase it out to center. 5 minutes to go here in the third period. Capitals down by 2. And now an offside pass stops play. We mentioned Kelly Miller had left the ice surface a bit earlier. We'll get an update now from Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. Word just in from the Capitals dressing room. Kelly Miller through for the night with a hyperextended left knee. It's a day-to-day situation. Hopefully Kelly will not be gone too much longer, playing some outstanding hockey for the Washington Capitals. Hyperextended left knee for Kelly Miller. Let's go back for this third period action with Mike Fornes and Al Cohen.
Okay, Jeff. It would be a major blow to the Caps if Miller was gone for any length of time. Kevin Hatcher day-to-day with a groin pull. Hatcher ostensibly maybe the top Capitals defenseman this season.
Here's the drive by Langway, and Healy kicks that aside to the corner. Duguay, right wing side. The Kings are offside. Duguay was already across the Washington blue line. All right, congratulations going out to Mike Ridley and Scott Stevens, named members of the All-Star team. That announcement just made today.
Don't think there's going to be a little uproar in New York City, particularly the Madison Square Garden area, finding out that only Brian Mullen of the New York Rangers named to the All-Star team, while Terry O'Reilly of the struggling Bruins adds Glenn Wesley and Reggie Lemelin. Spots that probably the Rangers thought should have gone to Van Beesbrook and to Brian Leetch.
Here's Casper to start back. Ahead for Robitaille, now across the blue line, and Chris Felix takes it away. Felix out to Courtnall. Back to Chris Felix. Duguay recovers back at his own line. Ridley in the corner, rink wide, misses Mike Gartner, and the Kings come out. 4 minutes to go here in the third period. Larry Murphy back in the corner after. Tosses it over to Jeff Courtnall. Right side for Larry Murphy. He's across the blue line with Gustafsson. There's the pass, but it's behind him. Gustafsson has to chase it into the corner. Now Christian pulls in, ties up with Krushelnyski, tries to work it loose. And Gretzky gets it ahead to Krushelnyski. Gretzky across the line. Taken out by Scott Stevens. Murphy goes to the corner. And Larry Murphy weaves a pass ahead now to Mike Miller. Miller across the blue line, drop pass Gustafson in front, a shot, and a save made by Healy. Krushelnyski feeds it back out now to Laidlaw, and he carries to center and tosses it in. 3 minutes to go, third period of play. Kings leading the Capitals 4-2. Bill Sykes off the stick of Larry Murphy, now back to Scott Stevens, over to Steve Leach. Here's Stevens across the line, but Leach was ahead of the play, and offside is called. Well, Jeff Rimmer updating us on that Islander Devil battle tonight. Sean Burke in goal in that contest against Kelly Hrudey, and Sean Burke garnering all-star goaltending honors. Chicago at Vancouver later on. Well, it's the same thing that happens every year, though. You know, it's always that coach who gets to pick those people. And last year, a lot of people criticized Mike Keenan for not picking Scott Stevens to fill out that roster. And many people even thought that it was a personal thing, some sort of a way to get at Scott Stevens, as Keenan was the coach of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Well, I think
Terry O'Reilly made him his choice.
Well, and also I think the coaches have shown in the past, too, they won't hesitate now to put some of their own players on. Maybe even if other guys are deserving, say, you know, I've got to spend the rest of the year with my guys. And the other team, to be honest, it's an honor, but they'd like to have some time off as well. They're not that upset by it. You get a little time off to make sure you're all healthy. It would be an honor for a young player like Brian Leach, and I'm sure he definitely, in my mind, deserves it. He has been an outstanding player. Tony Granato, also for the New York Rangers. A lot of people thought he should have made it. Those two guys have really been the spark plugs for the Ranger resurgence. They're having a great road trip.
But to O'Reilly, he feels that the man he wants in there in that position is Wesley.
And you can understand it, particularly since we saw Glenn Wesley, you know, last week win a game for the Boston Bruins, and a Bruin team that has been decimated by injuries, particularly on defense. You've asked a second-year player to step up and take a real leadership role on defense, and he has done it.
Gretzky against Ridley. Langway has to chase it back into his own zone. Leaves it ahead now for Courtnall on the left wing side. Gets it to Ridley. He fires a shot. Healy makes the save. The rebound put behind the net. Gartner tripped up behind the goal. The Caps will get another chance on the power play. Phil Sykes sent to the penalty box for tripping at 18:04 of the third period.
The Capitals dropped this game. It's not because of lack of time on the power play. They have had the vast majority of extra man advantages. Here, Mike Gartner sent down by Phil Sykes as Gartner was trying to chase down that loose puck. Paul Stewart certainly has given the Washington Capitals the calls when they have been wronged. They just have done it twice on the power play, nothing at even strength.
Well, we'll see if Brian Murray now plans some strategy and maybe works Malarchuk to the bench before too long to give the Capitals an even greater advantage, which would be 6 players out there against 4 Kings. Now, right now, 1:56 left in the third period. But as we get closer to that 1 minute mark, and I would think maybe even like a minute and a half, if there's a some dominant pressure inside the Los Angeles zone, Brian Murray may make that move. We'll see.
The dangerous team to do it against when you've got Wayne Gretzky out there, a guy who's already picked up 3 shorthanded goals. Steve Duchesne with 4 shorthanded goals already this year.
The Kings clear it all the way down. Gretzky is on the ice for Los Angeles along with Casper. Laidlaw with Waters. Here's Gartner down the right wing. A pass is taken away by Gretzky. He backhands it out to center ice. Scott Stevens to play. Over to Larry Murphy. Murphy to center. Across the line to Gartner, a slap shot saved by Healy. Malarchuk was on his way to the bench, but now it's cleared back inside the Washington zone. So he stays put for the moment. 1:12 left in the third period. Here goes Malarchuk to the Washington bench, but the puck stolen by Krushelnyski. So again he backs up. Larry Murphy leads it ahead for Dave Christian, who takes it back into the Capital zone. We're in the final minute of play in the period. Courtnall across the line. A pass to Christian. Malarchuk's out, and Christian's shot goes wide. A 6th attacker is on. Stevens a shot and a goal. Stevens just makes it across the line. And the Caps are within one at 4-3.
The strategy again works for Brian Murray. Now Healy just had to come back into that net. He's out of there for a moment and doesn't look real set. An excellent drive, though, a very difficult one to handle. Reaches out with the pad and the glove. Scott Stevens is the guy to send the bullet on, but Glenn Healy had come out of the net to challenge Christian moments before that and was just trying to scramble to get back into position. There you see him trying to get back into position. Now he can't be completely set, and Scott Stevens makes it awful difficult for him to come up with a clean save with an absolute bullet. Celebrating the selection to the Wales Conference All-Star team, the Capitals are within one with 49 seconds left. Give this team credit for not giving up.
Stevens' 5th goal of the season. All 5 of his goals have been power play goals this year, and this one comes at a very opportune time. At 19:11 of the 3rd period. The assist to Jeff Courtnall. And the pressure on now as again Malarchuk makes his way to the net, to the bench. And the extra attacker now is Dale Hunter. The Washington net is empty. Here's Courtnall at the side of the goal. 6 attackers to 5 for Los Angeles, and the puck comes out of the zone. Larry Murphy chasing it. With the power play goal, the Kings get Sykes back out there. Out of the box. Here's Christian on the right wing. Can't keep it in. Murphy does, but it's knocked down and played to center. Stevens back to his own line. Time running out. The Caps dump it in. Healy lets it go behind the net. A centering pass. A shot and a goal! Tie game!
Glenn Healy does not go behind the net often, does not handle the puck that well, and you see a reason why. He should be just back in there. Him coming out there, he's not able to get there. In time, centered out in front for David Christian. The Capitals dump it in from center ice. The Kings touch it, so it's not an icing. Glenn Healy trying to play and hold it up. The confusion. Look how Larry Murphy is stuck in behind. Just throws it out front, and with 5 seconds left, the Capitals have tied the game at 4. There was a defenseman there that probably could have gotten it if Healy had just left it and spun back into the net. But he tried to handle it a little too much. And the Brian Murray coaching strategy pays dividends for the Caps. Pulls his goalie twice, gets 2 goals in the process, and puts this game into overtime.
Dave Christian's 22nd goal of the season from Larry Murphy and Bengt Gustafsson at the 19:55 mark of the 3rd period to take us to sudden death overtime. And a breather here for both teams. And these Los Angeles Kings, remember, led 4-1. Well past the halfway point of this 3rd period. A sellout crowd here tonight, Al, and as I look around, there are a lot of empty seats from people who quit on this team.
That's right. Let's take a look at how the Capitals got back into this game. Down 4-1. First in is Mike Miller. Ridley sends the puck back on the point to Gartner. Capitals power play. Gartner directs a shot in, and look at Mike Miller chopping down on the puck to deflect it past Healy. Then comes Scott Stevens. Now see how Healy's got to come way out to challenge Christian? He's on his rear end. He can't get back into the goal as quick as he'd like to. He's trying to get in there. He's over to that far post. The shot comes over to the other post. He can't set himself in time, and it drops behind him. Now he's really scrambling. He goes behind the net. There he should have just left it and spun back into the net, but he's trying to stick handle with it. He's trying to move around with the puck. He's not set. Murphy gets back there to him, and as David Christian falls to the ice, he bangs it into the goal to give us the overtime.
Let's go downstairs now with Jeff Rimmer. Thanks, Al. Well, as you point out, along with Mike Bourne, many of the faithful here at the Capitol Center leaving, with some of them with as much as 9 minutes left in the hockey game. When the Capitals trailed by 3, but I can tell you honestly that the fans that are still left here are more than making up for those that departed. And I know many of them now probably in their cars heading home wish they were still here for the overtime. Let's go back upstairs. All right, thank you, Jeff. What's going through this man's mind? Will he be ready for this overtime? With that little timeout, the 2 minutes over the bench, did it calm him down? You've got to bet the Capitals, as soon as they can get in that zone, just keep pumping the puck on Glenn Healy. Make him handle it. Make him do things. He's got to be questioning his decisions now.
There you see the overtime records. All 3 of the Los Angeles ties have been against the Winnipeg Jets. And Washington with just 1 overtime victory. And boy, would that be a wonderful way to end this losing string with a victory here over the Los Angeles Kings. 4-4 lockup, and we're in the extra session. Mike Ridley skates it out to center ice. Gartner keeps it going and sends it back inside the Los Angeles zone. Laidlaw to the corner after it. Bumped by Courtnall. Centering pass for Gartner. He puts it right back in front, and Courtnall wrestled to the ice. Ridley tries to take over, and the Kings come out. Here's Gretzky to the blue line. Fires in front. Robitaille misfires, and Ridley has it knocked away. Now Crossman a shot, just wide. Rebound. Robitaille sent that up high over the goal. Out come the Capitals on the attack. Here's Courtnall across the blue line. Drop pass for Langway. Flips it in front for Gartner. He's checked by Tonelli. Up the boards, and Gretzky takes over now for Los Angeles. Wayne Gretzky to the blue line of Washington. Walks inside the zone. Into the corner he skates and loses it at the side of the net. Tries to wrap it around. It comes out to Dave Christian. Christian with a 3-on-2 attack. With Murphy and Miller, a pass, and a shot goes over the top of the net. Now a tie-up in the corner as play is called with 3:33 left in sudden death overtime.
Well, the Kings aren't playing for the point on the road. They load up the zone. They've got the defense pinched in, and that allows the Capitals the 3-on-1 break. But in the centering pass is deflected and bounces over top of the net. Take one more look at it. Gretzky trying to catch up. Krushelnyski trying to catch up. What an excellent job done down there by Tim Waters. I mean, that's a brilliant play to prevent that pass from getting through. It deflects off him, pops up into the net, and down behind it.
In the third period, the Capitals outshot the Kings 15-7 and 37-27 for 3 periods of play. We're in overtime now. Here's John Druce to the corner after it. Tries to center. Taken away by Doug Crossman, who had a good scoring chance at the other end moments ago. Hunter roughs up Tonelli. Now here's Murphy to Hunter. Takes it behind the goal. Ron Duguay off the boards to the point. Out of the zone, and John Druce goes to chase it. Now backhands it on into the Los Angeles end. The puck cleared all the way down the ice. As the Kings change up on the fly, here comes Scott Stevens to start out. Leads it ahead to Larry Murphy. Murphy across the line to Steve Leach, a slap shot. That's blocked, juggled in front by the goalkeeper Healy, but he hangs on.
Remember, it was 2 games ago that the Washington Capitals were in overtime against the New Jersey Devils, and New Jersey came out to win it, with Kirk Muller getting a goal with just 35 seconds remaining in the extra session. The Capitals certainly could ease that bad memory with a big victory here. They've got 2 minutes and 47 seconds left to work with, and they've got a face-off in the Los Angeles zone. Franceschetti, Gustafson, Christian, Sheehy, and Langway for the Capitals. Steve Kasper, and this is where he's earned his money for so many years in Boston, taking key defensive faceoff. This is one of the main reasons he was acquired by Rogie Vachon and the LA Kings.
Gustafson wins the draw. Back to Sheehy at the point. A slap shot. Oh, and a save with the pads of Healy. That caromed off his right pad into his left pad, and he covered it up.
Neil Sheehy, who scored his first goal of the year Sunday against Detroit. He knows he's got a screen. He looks to pass first, but look at all the traffic he's got. Now watch Healy. He just sticks out the pads and hopes that that's where the puck is going. Duck his head out to the right, thought that that shot was then coming to the left, and stuck the pad out to make a big, big save.
Gustafson ready to work. His opponent is the newly acquired Steve Casper from the Bruins. The draw goes to the backboards for Duchesne. Sends it back to the point. Rod Langway a drive, deflected just wide, and picked up now by Dave Christian. Over to Gustafson. Franceschetti hauls down Duchesne, and Casper starts out. Christian slows him up. Here's Gustafson with a puck over to Sheehy. He fires it inside the Los Angeles zone. Gustafson keeps it in. Tosses it to the other board. Sheehy to the corner. Duchesne chased by Gustafson. A stick lying on the ice gets in the way. Franceschetti now tries to get it. And it's frozen behind the net with 1:58 to go in sudden death overtime.
Boy, Franceschetti did exactly his job. He's out there not because of his goal-scoring prowess, but because of that. Physical play. He can jam the front of the net, create screens, and in this case, helps freeze this puck to give the Capitals another chance at working a play off the faceoff. Now they can get fresh troops out there. Ridley, Courtnall, Gartner on the front lines. Murphy and Stevens will be the point men. Capitals have kept most of the pressure this overtime in the LA end.
So far, I don't show the Kings with a single shot in sudden death overtime, and Washington has two. Gartner with Courtnall and Ridley, Murphy and Stevens for Washington. Duguay ready to work the faceoff here for the Kings. He's got Tonelli and Krushelnyski with him. Waters back on the blue line with Crossman. The Kings get the draw again. Tonelli plays it all the way down. Stevens there after it to Murphy. Clears to the point but not out. Tonelli keeps it in. Into the corner for Duguay. Stevens rubs out Krushelnyski on the backboards, but Krushelnyski still with the puck. Brings it back to Ron Duguay. At the point for Waters. Into the corner, Mike Wrigley goes to chase it. Now to Duguay again, into the corner. Tonelli, checked by Ridley. At the side of the net, a scramble. Ridley has the puck and brings it over to Courtnall. Here's a 3-on-2 Washington break. Murphy across the line to Courtnall, looking for Gartner, and the pass deflected. Gartner puts it behind the net for Courtnall. Jumps back into the corner with a puck, tries to center, and out comes Waters with it now for Los Angeles. The Kings changing on the fly. We're in the final minute of play. Gretzky's on the ice. Here comes Courtnall across the line. Winds and fires. The shot blocked wide. The Kings come out. Here's Gretzky to center. Duchesne drops it for Gretzky. A shot! Oh, Malarchuk just got a piece of it. Then it grazed the side of the net and went into the crowd. The faceoff will be outside the zone.
Boy, some interesting maneuvers by Robbie Fatorik. The shift before this, he had Duguay out there in place of Gretzky. He held Gretzky out to the final minute and gets a good scoring chance. He's got Steve Duchesne out there on the left side. He's also got Luke Robitaille because Bernie Nichols is out of the game. He's moved Duchesne up to a forward line. There's a closer look at that shot. Grazes off that goalpost on the side of the net. You're saying the shift before that, Ron Duguay was out there where Gretzky normally played. Duguay won the draw, and the Kings were able to get out of the zone and put some pressure in for the Capitals to worry about. Then he was able to save Wayne Gretzky and get him out there right now. Now Steve Casper is there, along with Gretzky and Robitaille on the forward line, Duchesne and Laidlaw on defense.
You see the time remaining in sudden death overtime. Langway back for it, ahead for Hunter. It's tipped out to center ice. And Laidlaw has the puck for Los Angeles. Tipped by Robitaille into the crowd. And there'll be a face-off now with 22 seconds to play in sudden death overtime. I think this would be an emotional victory for the Capitals. Even if they were to end up with a tie out of this, the 1 point would bring them into a tie with Pittsburgh for second place in the Patrick Division. And to come from behind and do it the way they've done it, getting those 3 goals, would be a big lift for this club, something they could use right now.
In this regard, it would be as good as a win, except in the point totals. It would be happy to come out of this thing with the point right now.
Casper works the draw. The Kings get it. Here's Steve Duchesne. Tries to center. Duchesne to the corner. Langway overseeing this behind the net. Now clears it off the boards and sends it down into the Los Angeles zone. Time running out in overtime. The puck comes loose in front of the net, and the Kings clear it, and that'll be the end of the hockey game. But the crowd applauding the Washington Capitals, and deservedly so. They came from behind, cutting a 4-1 Los Angeles lead, and scoring in the third period goals by Mike Miller on the power play, Scott Stevens on the power play with a 6th attacker out there too, and then Dave Christian's dramatic goal with the 6th attacker with only 5 seconds left in regulation time, and the Capitals pull out a tie with the LA Kings. Shots on goal in sudden death overtime. The Kings did not have any. A game total of 27. Washington with 3. A game total of 40. Season records for both clubs. The Capitals now at 24, 18, and 8. And they have 56 points. They're tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins for second place in the Patrick Division. And the LA Kings now at 50.